Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let me try to send this link out to you guys again, just in case. Let me see. Let me share. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let you guys know I'm live again. Oh, I'm so irked. Film capital, it took like so much. I didn't realize I had like two streams in the background playing, and that's why it was echoing. So look, I was here, I was ready to hit go live at 8:30, and then StreamYard said that I didn't have any storage. So I was like, okay, let me hurry up and just download some old stuff and delete it to create space. I come back and then realize, I guess that's when I had like those two streams up at the same time. I'm like, why do I keep hearing the echo? So it was crazy, but I guess we live and we learn. Hey, good evening, Sheila. So put out I'm going to put out the new link for people. Uh and the other one was nice and ready. Like I had put on my keywords, tags, and everything. That's another thing I want to see if you guys would be interested in. Like, because I want to teach other people that are interested. The behind the scenes of YouTube. You know, if you ever wanted to start your own YouTube channel, you don't even have to put your face out there, because I feel like it's a lot of successful YouTubers that don't even show their face. So if that was one of the things you're like, I don't want nobody to see me, you don't even have to worry about that. Like, but I try to switch it up because I want people to, I don't know. I like to feel like it's like relatable when we're on here talking. Like, I see you, you see me kind of thing. You only don't see me today because I left the gym, and, you know, I want to look decent for y'all because I'm just starting out. So I want to like make sure I always look on point when I come on camera kind of thing. So if I can't look on point, I'm just like, I'm not even going to bother y'all with that. Hey, we are live. Apologize for the technical difficulties and delay. Here's the new link. All right, guys. Thanks for being patient. Post. All right, and if I have to make this up, I will. We can come on here and talk again tomorrow. But I wanted to get the results. I want to show you guys the results from the poll that I literally just posted. Like, you guys be on it. Let me see. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna have any feedback, but I'm just gonna go with it. Let me see. So, share my screen. You guys decided that we were going to talk about Carlos King first. Carlos King and Melody. And I want to talk about this situation because it kind of triggered me. I understand these producers have jobs to do and things like that. Okay, well, maybe when Carlos had asked Melody or suggested that Melody get back with Martel, maybe it wasn't for show related purposes. But I can't help but to think like maybe that's why he wanted to do that. But I just feel as though, like, okay, if you're watching the show how we're watching the show, why would you want her to get back with Martel based off of what literally Martel did? Now, of course, we know cheating is a no-no, but I feel like cheating in a baby is like a bit much. So who thought it would be okay for them to get back together? And the only thing I'd be hoping is that they have a really good co-parenting relationship with each other. But I don't want them to get back together. You know, I want some Taylor Swift type time for Melody. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. I mean, that's just how I feel about this situation. So hearing that Carlos actually suggested that really triggered me. So I actually wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about that and see how you guys feel. And I wonder if you can relate. Like, have you ever tried to walk away from a situation and then somebody was like, oh, you guys should get back together, you know, thinking it's all cute and stuff? I mean, because the nerve. And I feel like, that do be happening. I understand how sometimes in life we be spinning the block. We may hit up our old exes or something like that. That, who knows. But I get that part. But I feel like when you're on national TV, you got to play it smart, or you got to be kind of tough. Like, I feel like I don't like being embarrassed. So I feel like being in the public will kind of make me or help me to move differently. Or it's just like what they say, when you go and lose weight, or you're trying to be on your health and fitness journey, it's okay to like talk about it on social media because people will hold you accountable. Like, look at you eating that donut. I thought you were supposed to be in the gym. That's why I don't say what I'm doing because I don't need all that energy. Hey, Anisha. So he said, yes, a few years ago, my coworkers tried to get me to have a baby. Interesting. Were they trying to say like, oh, he's such a great catch? You should really, like, was they trying to like play on the good things about him? I could see that happening. But it's just like the audacity. He's an ex probably for a reason. So don't act like I can't get nobody else or nobody else better. That's what people don't understand. I feel like stop trying to play Melody. Stop trying to play her in her face. Don't act like Martel's the best that she can do. Martel's the worst that she can do. She can do way better than him. So don't even try it, people. But yeah, let me pull up that article so y'all can see. I was just like, really? And then y'all, I was watching this other YouTuber. He did an interview with Candy, and Candy was talking about how she and Carlos had beef. And I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Because don't Carlos come off as like, I don't know, I feel like everybody's rooting for him. Seems like everybody like him kind of thing. So I was just so shocked and surprised that he had beef with somebody, So, woo. Hey, Linda. Good evening. Apologize for delay. The delay again, guys. Like, oh my gosh. I had like 2 streams going on at once, like 2 browsers, and that's why I kept hearing the echo. I could not understand why. Ooh, but I feel like it was a learning lesson. So if that ever happens again, I know what to do. But yes, they excused the red flags and said I owe him a baby. Wow, was he like a high school sweetheart or something? Because I feel like when they say owe him, they're making it seem as though like maybe y'all was together for a long time or something. But I still feel like he's an ex for a reason. If you was with him, if it was meant to be, you would be with him. You know what I mean? You wouldn't need no outside opinions. So, oh dang, and I also want to talk about Letitia and Melody and their friendship. Let's see here. I said the nerve of Carlos, the audacity of him. Here, let me share my screen again with you guys. Okay, it's a little delay. Probably because, okay, is anybody else Google Chrome like me? Like, y'all don't see my other browser, but I be having like 5 browser with a bunch of hundreds of different tabs. Like, I have a lot of interest in my mind be going like about different things. So I'm like, okay, let me look it up. So basically, as y'all can see the title, Carlos King told Melody Hall to get back together with Martel Hall, and Melody refused, as she should. So you know how Carlos has his little why did I say little? Carlos has his podcast where I think it's, what is it? Talks with Reality with the King. Okay. And it says she broke down why she understood this sentiment. Okay. Regardless, some Love and Marriage Huntsville fans still wanted Martel and Melody to get back together. I'm curious to know who these fans are, because as far as like the fans that be on my page, like you guys, I ain't never heard of no such thing. I never remember reading a comment about wanting Mel to go back to Martel. So I don't know who these fans are. You know what? Maybe they're like in no shade or anything like that, but maybe it's like the older generation that really doesn't understand like narcissism like that. You know what I mean? Like the things that we have to deal with this new generation of dating is not the same. They don't understand. These men are built different nowadays. You know what I mean? Like they don't even really want to do the traditional roles and stuff, but they want us to treat them traditional, and they still want us to be traditional wives. And it's just like, that's not how it's going to go down. So I'm kind of confused who these fans are, because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. On I feel like my page, y'all don't really like Martel like that, okay? Like people be talking about his egg kid. I'd be like, oh my gosh. Well, so I don't know these fans that wanted Melody and Martel to get back together. But it also says, and Melody opened up about this when she appeared on Carlos King's podcast. She broke down why she understood this sentiment. Us being divorced honestly has nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I'll be quite frank with you. There were more people. Interesting. So I was up here thinking maybe it was only a few people that wanted them to get back together, but it says there were more people DMing me, rooting for me to make my marriage work. There were more people wanting me to stay like y'all. Oh, wanting me to stay like y'all have beautiful children. She added, there were more people for the marriage than against the marriage. They loved seeing this beautiful black young power couple. But is she not happy? Like, yes, we do love seeing black, beautiful power couples in the media, but when the two are happy, like when they're thriving, when there's no cheating, when there's no infidelity, where it's not toxic. This is so interesting to me. I mean, I get it. People do probably like the optics, but like, what about what's going on behind closed doors? That's what really matters. And I don't know. I guess it just kind of shows our society too. As long as it's all pretty on the outside, it doesn't matter what's going on in the inside, you know? So I find this very interesting. Let me see what y'all say here. So Linda said Carlos King was trying to sell her like, right. Melody needs to watch Carlos. Once I heard Candy say that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And you know how upset she was. I don't know if y'all watched. Remember, that was good. Did y'all see the little Bravo special when it was like her, you know, the Escape girls getting back together to do Essence Fest or something? That was actually very interesting. I will watch another season 2 of them. Because they really give me like real sister vibes, and it was just beautiful and all that good jazz. Don't y'all feel like, okay, I want to ask y'all, don't y'all feel like the reason why like Escape was still able to be relevant today is because we had like Tiny still out in the public, you know, her day in TI, and we had Candy still out in the public, being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because I think about it like this, like other girl groups like SWV, like from back in the day tried to come out, but I don't know, it didn't shake like how Escape did when they made their comeback. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's because, or Salt and Pepper when they tried to come back out. But I think it's because Candy and Tiny stayed in our face throughout the years. Like those other groups, they kind of, I guess, sat down, took some time out, so they didn't stay in our face. Kind of like Mary. Mary, I feel like Mary J. Blige, she's able to stay relevant because she's staying in our face. She don't be taking no days off. Versus like a Faith Evans, like when she don't really be out like that. Like she'll come out with a song and then like go into hiding, go out with a song, go to hide. But no, Mary just stay relevant. Like I don't know. I hope that makes sense, but I think that's what I just be thinking. But yes, because it do seems as though Melody and Carlos are very close, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I think it's cool that she's close with the executive producer. But after hearing what Candy had to say, I was like, interesting. Oh, hey, Neeloni. You know I'm probably messing up your name. Forgive me. You know, I feel like every first day of school, I already know that the teacher was going to mess up my name when it was time for roll. So, you know, I didn't mean to do it on purpose because I be trying to say people's names right, you know, because I know how it feels. But you said if Melody loves him, if through counseling for an extended period of time, it could be possible for their total family. Interesting. Even with a baby, I do feel like people can overcome cheating and stuff. I feel like a baby, that's kind of tough. And I don't want to compare like biblical things or anything like, well, I guess I am because I'm bringing it up, but it kind of makes me think about, remember, even though it's kind of reversed, but I don't know. But remember, you know, in the Bible where Sarah, she couldn't have a child at first. And then, you know, then Abraham went and messed with the you know, the handmaid or something. She had a baby, and then eventually Sarah had a baby. And then Sarah was like, get that other kid gotta go. And then like that kid had to go. Because I feel like it is kind of hard to, I don't know. It would just be a reminder. So I'm not saying that it can't happen. It's just tough. I don't know. Everything for everybody, different strokes for different Different strokes for different folks. Yeah, I think that's how the saying go. But I do feel like that's a real toughie. So I would understand if people will walk away if a child had got produced out of the affair, you know. But if somebody stayed, I would understand too. I think that'll be interesting, you know. No, he wasn't. He was 11 years older than me. Interesting. They still wanted you to go back to him, and this is interesting. But that's okay, Anisha. Because you're gonna get you know who is for you and who you want, and it's gonna be all good, and then they'll understand, you know. At the end of the day. Letitia is not a friend, and Melody was correct to fire her as an associate. Yeah. I wish Letitia would kind of, and maybe I say this because I can identify with it because, you know, maybe I'd be like that sometimes. But I wish like Letitia would assert herself a little bit more and like come across as that girl that I know that she can be. You know, Letitia is very pretty. Like her looks be on point. And I just want her to like kind of assert herself a little bit more in her marriage kind of thing. But no, if it works for her, it works for her. Like, let me not talk about her marriage or anything like that. But I just kind of want to see her boss up a little bit. Maybe she don't got boss up with him, but I just want to, because sometimes I just feel like T should be a little timid, like she'd be in the cut a little bit. I don't know, but I just want to see her like really shine. Like, even remember when she was acting a little jealous when they had like this event and Marcel was talking to a girl in a red dress. Like, I wouldn't even bring that girl up. Cause you see me with this dress, like I don't. So I just want her to be like more like comfortable and confident in her skin and who she is, you know, because she got it going on, you know, outside of the beef with Melody. Like I try to be objective as possible. Like let's say I didn't even know Melody or something like that, and I was just looking at Letitia and didn't know their background and history. I'll be like, oh, you know, she got a lot of good things going for herself. So I just want her to act like, you know, act the part kind of thing. Martel is mentally ill and need lifelong counseling. Well, you know, now that we're putting the pieces together, we could kind of see. Because remember, I found out doing my little video on him that Martel's dad was incarcerated. And as you can see, his mom be enabling him. So, you know, with those components, I'm not making excuses for him, but I do understand why he's acting the way he's acting. And you're right, he does need counseling to that so he can stop hurting people. Because you know, as the saying go, hurt people, hurt people. You know, you can't be bleeding on everybody just because you got cut. Okay, I did not cut you. You know, so you do need to heal that. Melody has no friends on the show. Those are Martel's friends. That's a very good point. Even Destiny. You know, even Destiny. I thought Destiny was mutual. Like I really did. I thought she had Melody's back. But she is basically Martel's friend first. And where's her husband? I want to see Destiny's husband. Is he going to get a confessional? I want to hear from him. No, I'm playing. The baby was a deal breaker for Mel. Okay, what about you guys? Dang, I don't want y'all to get personal. Let's say it in general. Do you feel that a baby is a deal breaker in a marriage? In for either gender, okay? Because most of the time we be thinking like, and that's the thing too. I feel like if the man went and got another woman pregnant, you know, everybody would work through it, see it out. But I wonder if that same energy, that same grace will be applied to the woman, and she, you know, maybe stepped out and got pregnant. I just wonder, you know. And it's almost like you wouldn't want the man to suffer through that, but it's okay to let the woman. I feel like it's bad on both sides. But so that's how come I'm gonna present it back to y'all. Is an outside baby in a marriage a deal breaker, or is it something that can be worked through, regardless of the gender? Okay, so Patricia said it depends on what a person can take. It's a deal breaker for me. Yeah. Because in a way, I feel like, you know, like you could find out that somebody cheating on you or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, it's knowledge. But I feel like a baby is actual like a physical evidence. You know what I mean? Like a lifelong evidence you know what I'm trying to say? Like, okay, you may see text messages or you might catch them or something on camp or something like that. Okay, the moment is over. Or they be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. But a baby is like, that is produced out of that is more so like, oh my gosh, a reminder. But I do find this interesting. I'm gonna put a little extra layer on it because don't you feel like, and I don't want to be sexist, but I guess I am. Don't you feel like if the man has like is wealthy or has more resources, if he had an outside baby, I feel like sometimes women would stay. Because for some reason I just thought about the whole the Joe Jackson and the mom Catherine situation. Because remember, Joe Jackson had an outside baby. And I don't know if Catherine knew like that, but let's just say she did. I figure in a situation like that, because like the man is wealthy and all that other good stuff, I feel like she probably's like, okay, I'm not gonna leave him because of this. So I wonder if the man has money and is very influential, if that makes him more tolerable. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope that makes sense. I really do. Oops. Oh, I was supposed to look. Okay, film capital. Here you go. Martel mom is also narcissistic. So sad. This is where Martel gets his ways from. Oh my gosh, that car scene. Woo! I just couldn't. Everything was like, that's good, baby. You right, baby. And that's so good you do that. And like Martel could have been like, I changed the child's diaper. And she went, oh, that's so good. And it's like, oh my gosh, we don't have to reward him for doing things that he's supposed to do. He could be doing more, actually, if you really think about it. So I just couldn't believe that like the mom was really just acting like Martel was the king of Zamunda or something. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And they're gonna try to like disregard Melody's feelings. Oh, she gonna have to get over it. Yes, she is going to have to get over it, but don't act like this is something that she can get over overnight. Like, what? Like, you just. But I feel like, I guess, you have to ride for your kids. And who am I to, I feel like I'm already going to be one of those extra moms at the football games and soccer games and stuff like that. Have my son face on my shirt, a poster, and like, embarrass him kind of thing. So I don't know. I may be an extra mom too. So we'll see. Baby equals deal breaker. All right, Candy Rose. I should be tallying it up. Like, one, someone said yes, this person saying no. Yes, no. Is it a deal breaker? Is it not a deal breaker? So Linda said Destiny and Martel were caught cheating with each other. Destiny ex-employee has alluded to it allegedly. Interesting. So you're basically saying that as of recent, are you talking about like her ex-employee that worked at her beauty supply store? Because she just built that. So that means like something was going on between them just recently. While she was just recently in Mel's face. While she was just recently taking Mel's money. Ain't that something? But that's okay. Things like this, I feel like when you are genuine to people and they do you wrong, it's okay. God got you, They wind up just fumbling their own bag, So I hope this isn't true. So we allegedly, her friend, the ex coworker, allegedly alluded to it, but I do hope it's not true because. But I don't know. Did y'all watch my video when I was talking about that? It's a scripture where it's like when you give your enemy water to drink, you like heap hot coals of fire on them, and it's kind of like they be burning inside because they feel like, dang, I don't deserve this nice treatment because I done did something dirty to this person, but they're being nice to me anyway. I feel like that's just so beautiful. It just makes me think, how like also in scripture, it'd be like, while we were yet still sinners, Christ died for us. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what? Even when I was like doing my own thing, like, Christ, you still died for me, for my sins. Like, I cannot believe it. So when people do very, very like nice things or go above and beyond for people that are like their enemies or people that are hating on them, it's just so touching because it takes like a really big person to do that, because if you're my enemy, don't even look my way, okay? But no, see, God is working on me. So I want if you're my enemy, it's okay. You can have some of my food too. But yes, a family member came on Don Don and said Marcel has a baby with Kiki. So I believe that's why Tisha is insecure. Not her cousin Kiki, right? Oh, wait, said Marcel has a baby with Kiki. Interesting. Patricia. We need to talk about that too, because we'll scale it down to relationships, but don't you guys feel as though that if somebody's making you like insecure or questioning you or gaslighting you, I feel like that's also a reason to leave as well? Because I feel like if I'm going to be in a relationship with you, I should be like, it should be a sense of security and peace. And obviously, it's not just the outside. I kind of feel like Tisha probably feel a vibe from Marcel. I feel a vibe from Marcel, and that's not even my husband. I'm just watching him through TV. So imagine the vibe she probably feel like being with him. And she knows it or she feels it, but she probably don't have no evidence, or she doesn't want to have any evidence. I remember my mom got on me about that one time before I was in grad school, and I was talking to this guy, and out of state. Well, I was out of state. So, and he was from that state. Mom was like, okay, Synquette, he may have a girlfriend. I'm like, he don't have no girlfriend. She was like, how you know? Are you friends with him on Facebook? And I'm like, no, because I don't want to be friends with him on Facebook, because I don't want to see if he do got anything going on. You know what I mean? So it could be stuff like that. Like, you just don't want to know. Let me just be ignorant and blissful right now. Can I just act like everything is all right in the world, so I don't need you or nobody else trying to get me to be Inspector Gadget right now? Let me just remain in ignorance is bliss. And I kind of feel like that could be the case for Tisha, yeah, y'all. So that's where it's like I kind of get her, if that makes sense. Yes, even with the baby, it was a deal breaker. Martel didn't know how to repent and beg. His male pride and fear rejection in the public. His need to be looked as a big man. This thought process lost him his family. I agree. So you put an interesting spin on it. I didn't even think about it like that. So basically, you're saying if you do feel like if he was remorseful to Melody and was like, oh my gosh, Mel, I regret it. I don't regret my child. My child wasn't a mistake, but I regret my actions. I regret breaking the vows. Please forgive me. Whatever we got to do, if we need to go to counseling to make it work. You're putting an interesting spin on this, because now she may have worked it out. This is interesting, because he did act like he did not care. And let's not forget, even though I feel like he was just trying to be, again, prideful. Remember when Carlos asked on the reunion, oh, do you love this girl? And he ain't trying to answer. That was that. Get away from me, Martel. Because I really do feel like he was being prideful, and he was also trying to hurt Melody by not giving a straight answer. You don't love her. You don't. Stop it. So, yeah. He was doubling down. Like he you're right when I think he never had no remorse. Goodness. Oh gosh. No. Sunny Sunshine said no. Joe Jackson kept his side woman in her place. Oh, so she didn't pop up. She didn't pop up. Catherine left. She just never divorced Joe. Oh, I did not know that. Did she leave because of infidelity, or did she leave because of like another reason kind of thing? But Sunny Sunshine, I feel like you do have a point, because remember how Melody said something about respectfully cheating, and how like side chicks are supposed to know their place. Like, you play your position, don't overstep your bounds, don't come over here getting more FaceTime with my man kind of thing. So I could see that. I could see this. Yeah, back in those days, I could see, the side chick being quiet or whatever, not wanting to rock the boat, and have a child that's related to the Michael Jackson. Martel's mom is a drunk and dependent on his finances. Oh, I cannot confirm or define. Was it confirm or confirm or deny that. Is that what I want to say? I don't know, y'all. But even I feel like, okay, what do y'all feel about that? I'm glad this is a little segue. Because I feel as though people say that about Candy and Mama Joyce as well. Like, can't Mama Joyce don't like Todd because then she got split, Candy's money with him and da 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 da. So, but isn't it okay as like an adult child, if you are kind of like financially stable and good, to kind of help your parents, or like for them to be financially dependent on you? Like, is that not okay? Or because I feel like it's nothing wrong with the mom being dependent on Martel, if that is the case. But then again, I don't know. Like, what do y'all? I'm open to hear like a different perspective on that. But and I kind of feel Candy on that too. Like, it's okay. Her mom can use her money to be on a home shopping network and all that other stuff. Like, that's her mom, and that's what she wants to do. In my mind, no, not in my mind. I'm speaking into existence. I want to give my mom her own beach house in Jamaica. It's like a dream of mine. I'm putting in my head. And she also likes the car that those charger cars. I don't know. That was a few years ago. She may have changed her mind, but things like that I want to do for my mom too. Even though what's going on with Neo was kind of crazy. Now, I'll never forget, I was watching his behind the music, and he said when he got his record label, his record deal, and he's making the money and all the other stuff, he had called his mom. His mom was at work and told her, "You don't gotta work no more. You don't never gotta work anymore." Y'all know that really touched me, because who wouldn't want to like say that to their mom? If like your mom really was supportive and you seen like your mom work and stuff for you, and to to pull your mom off her job is just like, I feel like that's a really, I think kids want to do that kind of thing. But like I said, like, Nelanine. Oh, I'm probably saying your name wrong, but yeah. So I'm just curious about that. Like, is it not okay for the mom to be dependent on his finances, since that is his mom? But I don't know. Hey, Candy Rose. So Candy Rose said, I wonder if Marlene is afraid of Martel and he tells her what to say when they feel bribe, no belt. LOL. People were saying that. People did feel as though like maybe the mom was scared, but I don't think that's it. I feel like Martel mom just praises him regardless. I feel like even if the cameras was not there, she would still say it just was too effortless for her. She didn't have to think of it, just came like it just flowed. And then it's in how she'll defend him against anybody else. So that's how come I feel like, I really think she's like that. Linda said recently, dang, I can't remember what we was talking about. Oh, the incident happening recently with Destiny's stores closed. You did tell me her stores closed. Dang, I hate for that to happen, because I want to support or like to see Black businesses shine and things like that. So I really hate that happened. And like I said, especially the hair care thing. I don't see why we're not dominating that field in particular. Because I'll never forget this one time when I was in Maryland trying to get some hair from the beauty supply store, and I got a bad vibe from the ladies in there. So that's why I'm just like, dang, I wish it was like a place where I could go with somebody that looks like me. Like, don't be giving me attitude, sis, because I could have just ordered my stuff online, and then you wouldn't have got the money. Because that's another thing. We can order our stuff online, on these websites. So look, I'm trying to help and patronize your business, but I'm not liking the attitude. So no, I'm just kidding. I agree. Hence her drinking problem. Oh my gosh, y'all saying that she has a drinking problem for real? Okay, Catherine, the religious, didn't condone her divorce. I think she really loved Joe, but he started to totally disrespect her with the woman. Exactly. That's when I feel like it's going too far. Like, it's only so much I can take. It's kind of like, who said it? You said it like his. No, wait, was it you? No, you was like his blatant disrespect, like his pride. Martel's pride made him lose the relationship, and I feel like it's the same thing in this situation with Catherine and Georgia. Like, look now, I forgave you for cheating, but you're not going to keep being extra, putting extra sauce. Okay? Like, how much more do you want to take? I mean, can I take, Rude. Hey, the realist. I like that name. Without Letitia and Marcel, this show wouldn't have love or marriage. Interest. Well, what about Kimmy and Maurice? They're married too, and at the time, so was Destiny and her husband, and also Tiffany and Whitlow. Tiffany and Whitlow, Tiffany and Lewis. They're married. So and so is what's it, Stormy? Stormy's married. So what do you mean by without Letitia and Marcel, this show wouldn't have love or marriage? There's other married couples that I think are in love, but you can explain more, the realist. Let us know what you think. So Linda says it's a lot of skeletons. It's a lot of skeletons coming out of the closet on the Scott's Destiny and Martel. Ooh, child. Oh yeah, Linda. Anybody that wants to come on here, you don't have to show get on camera. But if you want to like say your piece about what's going on with the show or bring up a related topic, let me know. Well, I'll put it in the little link in the chat. That's what this is for. Say what's on your mind. And I don't know if it's like clickable or not, but yeah, that's that link. Let me say, if you want to chat and speak your piece about a show related topic, here's the link. All right. Okay, I disagree because Mel filed and moved out before she knew about. You know what? You are right. Then she did say that in the interview. She said that before she even knew. You're right, Anisha. You right. I'm pretty sure the baby, when she did find out, that probably was like, dang, I know I made the right decision. You know what I mean? I wonder if it was that kind of thing. Like, you know how they be saying, like, we thank God for the prayers that he did answer, but sometimes we should thank God for the prayers he did not answer. Like, it makes you think about when you were younger and stuff, like, oh my gosh, I wanted to do this, or I wanted to go there, or I really wish I ended up with him or them. Like, I wish those were my friends. And then it didn't happen. You were sad, but you had to move on. And then life will later on kind of reveal to you why it didn't happen, why it wasn't a match kind of thing. So you'd be like, oh, I'm glad, I it didn't happen kind of thing. So reading that you said that Mel filed for divorce before she knew about the baby is more so I feel like Mel was like, see, I'm glad I did. Confirmation, deuces. God said go. So I went. So Sunny Sunshine, that's cute. Martel is lightweight, slow, for real. But we as a society tend to overlook special needs is attractive people. Now, that's what exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I feel like when you are attractive, you get away with a lot more things. Just like if y'all are following me on Instagram, because Linda had to get on me, y'all. So I don't watch it, but I was looking at a clip of what is it, Black Ink Crew Chicago. And y'all know who I'm gonna talk about. Ryan from Black Ink Chicago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he is so fine. Even though people say he toxic. And I feel like it's because he do look good to me. Nobody else may think he look good, but to me he look good. and this is him, just in case you want to see him, so y'all can know, like, ain't he cute? Oh, hey, D.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, D.
Hey, so this is my first time actually hearing you. You're
Oh,
being a part of your show, so I'm excited. But I wanted to
well, thanks for
talk
joining.
to you. You made a comment about the individuals. I'm sorry, I'm on my iPad, so bear with me.
No problem.
So you made a comment about the type of people that would want her to stay with. Trying to see how
Martell.
to do this with Martell. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it. Okay, I promise you, it's not the older generation. I'm
Okay.
55. I'll be 55 this next week,
Oh,
and
happy
I
early birthday.
thank you. I've been
You're
married
welcome.
30 years, 30 plus years. But there's
Congratulations.
a difference. Okay, so let me just say this. Women are, you got to feel good about yourself, and you have to have really high self esteem
Mhm,
and know what you want. People will only do what you allow them to do,
mhm,
and that's just it. So if you feel don't value yourself, or the man that you're with or the person that you choose to be with don't value themselves, then they will choose to go in whatever direction they want to go in. You know what I'm saying? You
mhm,
would choose whatever person that attracts you in that way. But if you feel good about yourself and you have high self-esteem, you're not going to allow yourself to be manipulated by a Martel. The signs are there. There's all the signs are there. There was
mhm,
never an opportunity where those signs were not like screaming out loud, no, you know.
mhm.
I think what happened, especially when it came to Mel, because as you can see, Mel has a very strong personality, but he was great at manipulating her. And she, I think because she was someone that was an only child, there were things about him that attracted her to him, that made her want to be with him and protect him. Like he gave her, she was his protector, she had his back. And when he was with her, he wanted to be with her 100%, which is the same thing that he did with, let me turn this light up, I'm sorry. The
You're
same
good.
way he was with what's her name? With her, coleslaw or whatever.
Oh,
I would
mhm.
never say her name because someone that disrespects themselves in that manner don't need my respect. I'm not going to give you that. But I want to say that it's definitely not the older generation. I would never ever. I have two daughters that are over the age of 30. Why would I? I'm not going to push them to be in a relationship. Be good by your dang on self, you know,
Okay.
and learn to be protective of yourself, your emotions. Learn to be protective of how you feel. Learn to be protective of the energy that's around you and what you allow within yourself. Learn to protect yourself. Don't allow anybody else to choose what that protection looks like. That's on you.
Mhm. I'm glad you said that. And I did not mean to generalize the older generation
Yeah.
because you're right. Because Carlos even wanted them to be together, and I feel like Carlos is a
I think it was a black love thing. So I think
mm,
when they initially came on the screen, they were the power couple.
mhm,
That it was never an issue of whether or not they were, but he showed us who he was. As Maya Angelou says, when they show you who they are the first time, believe them.
yeah,
He showed us who he was. And the thing was, Melody knew about his indiscretions. She tried to work with him in his indiscretions. He gave her words that said he would never do them. His actions showed something different. His
mhm,
mouth said one thing, but his actions showed something different. So that was just the difference in how their relationship was. I think for the most part, people just wanted to see Black love win at the end of
mhm,
the day. And of course, they just looked like the right couple. The problem was he disrespected her.
mhm,
I'm going to say this. There's a YouTuber that I have been watching for a while. And when I tell you the similarities are so real,
mhm,
and women fail to realize, women, men, whomever, you have the power. The power is in your hands to make decisions that will be beneficial for you and your household, or be beneficial for you. It don't even have anything to do with your household. Be beneficial for you as a whole, just you.
mhm,
Because at the end of the day, no one can make you feel good about yourself but you. No one can um, possess the power of, and this is how I've always looked at it. So you know how when you go in a grocery store, right? You got a taste for an apple.
mhm,
Like you just like you've been wanting an apple for about 2 or 3 days, right? You've been
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the house for whatever reason, you haven't been able to go get an apple, right? You got 3 stores down the street from you. The first one you go to, you walk in the store, you look at the apples, none of them look really good. They look like they've been picked over, like someone has just misused the apple. So you leave the store, right? You
Mm-hmm.
go to the next store. The next store could be Albertsons. You walk in that store, you like that apple. You go to the perfect apple. It has no bruises. It's red. It's like ripe and looks like it's just no one has ever touched it, right? I think every woman should look at themselves like that. It's about being the valuing who you are, and valuing your body. I promise you, everything about this right here is mine. I
Mm-hmm.
protect this. And if you're not going to protect yourself, you don't have the privilege of being a part of this. This right here is special. It's
Mm-hmm.
got special powers.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else can. I choose who gets the part of this power. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's the choices that we make as women, or the choices that we make as men, that determines how we allow other people to dictate what that looks like. Bottom
Um,
line.
no, I agree. Well, do you feel like, okay, maybe Melody, or I feel like, okay, if I put myself in her shoes, me now, I
Hmm.
feel like sometimes you just fall in love with the idea of love, that you kind
Hmm.
of forget that you're the prize, or you forget that, like you said, you have the power. So you kind of just want to make it work with this man to keep up appearance. No, I don't want to say keep up appearances, but it's like,
Well,
we have all these years together. Do I really want to throw it away?
hmm,
You know, he's disrespecting me.
yeah.
Can we figure it out, kind of thing?
Hmm.
But go ahead.
No, 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 no. I get what you're saying. I think there's a difference when you're dating someone versus when you're married to them.
Hmm.
There's a difference.
Hmm.
And I think her being married to him made her want to work it out
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
figure out a way to work it out. Otherwise, she would never have allowed him to get her pregnant again. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she did her part. She wanted to make sure no matter what, she did her part.
Hmm.
So everybody saw her doing her part. The problem was Martel is a weak man.
Hmm.
I don't care whether you're a man or a woman, valuing who you are in your own body. Like you can look good and all that, but you don't have to. You like what is it that the other young lady had that was so special that you were willing to break every code of your marriage?
Wow.
Like he broke the marriage code.
Hmm.
My husband doesn't have that option to break the marriage code. Neither do I. That was
Hmm.
a vow, but it
Hmm.
takes both people to honor the vow. It has
Hmm.
nothing to do with you being um, you feeling like you need to be with that other individual, or you feeling attracted to that other individual. If you feel that way, walk away.
Hmm.
Get out of the marriage
Hmm.
before you make the mistake of falling for that individual. And I always bring up the Bible, but the Bible speaks about when you allow someone to have sex with you, you are picking up everything that they have. You're
Yes.
picking up everybody they've ever slept with, you're sleeping with them.
Hmm.
Everybody that they've ever touched, you're touching them. So everything that they've ever done with that other individual, you're now part of that cycle. You're
Hmm.
now a part of those curses, right? So
Hmm.
when you walk away from that, right, you never walk away because now you have picked up everything. It could be the demons, the spirits, the bodily fluids, the smell, the lust, all of those things that come with that. You're choosing to be a part of that. You have to make good decisions for you. It has nothing to do with anyone else.
Hmm.
You got to value you more than you value anybody and anything else. And I think I love what the path that Melody has taken because what she's saying is that I choose not to allow you to have that power in me, the power over me. I choose that now. I gave you the opportunity. You chose to to degrade that. You chose that path. She did her part. We can't talk about her for walking away,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't talk about her for the amount of time that she stayed. She did what was right for her marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She gave him chances. And I can tell you this, based on what we saw from the first season, she gave him numerous chances.
To get it right. Yes.
She gave him, you could tell her energy said, I am trying to work with you, dude. I'm trying. But you
Yeah.
are not trying. It takes two people to make a marriage work.
Exactly.
Like two people to actually put in the effort of making a marriage work. If he wasn't willing to do that, she had to do what was best for her and
Mm-hmm.
her energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, when you sleep with someone else and you come and take it home, you now have made your wife sleep with that person.
Mm. And whoever that person was sleeping with. It's just I don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very, very
Sorry, that's my
selfish.
daughter.
Oh, you're good. So, Miss D, I want to read some of these comments because they are loving you in the
Hmm.
chat. I don't know if you can see them, but I was going to read them to
No,
you.
I can't.
Okay, so I'm going to read them
Let
to
me,
you,
okay,
and then
go
I want to
ahead.
ask you one more question before
Yeah, absolutely.
if you gotta if you gotta go.
Sure, absolutely.
So,
I'm sorry, I
Patricia's.
just took some time away from what I normally do,
Uh-huh.
um, from work, and just decided to come on YouTube, and I heard your program, and I was like, oh, you know what? I never do this, but I feel like it's important that you hear from people who are my age. I promise you, there's nothing bitter about me by looking at a woman who have degraded herself on live TV.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and you can never tell me my husband is cheated because my husband hasn't. I've been with him 30 years.
Mhm.
We have a relationship and we both understand what that relationship looks like, you know.
Mhm.
um I value me, but you got to have a man that values himself. Like,
Mm.
he know if even if the problem is that it's a value thing, it's a value. Like, I promise you, I say this all the time, my stuff is the bomb. Nobody gets an opportunity to be a part of this. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Nobody. It's a choice for me to let my husband have some.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? I value myself too much. The same way I value me, he values himself. It's a choice that we're making about the people that we choose to be in a relationship with.
Mhm.
That's all that is.
I agree. Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you too. Okay, well now you made me think of two things. Um,
Hmm.
remember how you said Martel is a weak man? So,
Hmm.
do you think that he became that way, or were there signs that Melody, or let's not even say Melody, but women can look out for that kind of be like, like in the dating stages, be like, no, that's not, he's not going to be it. You know what I mean? Like, what things should women be looking out for before they even get to the I do phase? Because I feel like Martel probably didn't get this way overnight. He probably was always
Hmm.
kind of narcissistic. But I'm just like,
Hmm.
what do you think are some red flags that women can look out for?
I think you can tell in a man how
Mhm,
much he values the person that he's with. Like, you
mhm,
can tell in a man if he values you.
mhm,
And I think what happens is we see red flags from the beginning. When we start the first time we have a date with someone.
mm,
So it's about the small things. Does he, when he calls you, is he wanting to have a conversation with you, like a real conversation? What does that conversation look like? Um, how does he manage his money?
mhm,
How does he open up the car door for you? Does he open up the door for you when your friends are around, or other people are around, or other men are around? How does he treat you? Is Does he walk off and like gotta act like he the stuff and be with his friends, or does he value you and value your time while you're with him? You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So no matter what, just as much as you love him, he should show that same amount of love and respect for you.
I
Like
like
my
that.
husband from day one have always opened the car door for me,
Hmm.
opened the door for me. Like always have said, "Hey, do you have gas in the car? Let me go." I don't even. He doesn't
Mm.
even ask me. He just go and put gas in the car. Um, Clean up the house. Like he will help me clean up the house, and I don't have to say anything. It's a partnership.
Hmm.
We've always done everything as a partnership. He'll go grocery shopping. You know, he keeps our yard pristine. Um, he's a money manager. He knows how to manage the money, and he'll tell me when I'm not doing what I need to do. So we are. It's a partnership. You can tell from a conversation with a man if it's a partnership. Now, there's a difference in a partnership and someone who is trying to control you. There's a
Mm.
difference. A
So like a
partnership
dictatorship.
is, yeah, a partnership is someone who will allow you to get your education, to be a strong, independent woman. Even if you make more money than him, he's okay with that because guess what? You guys are in a partnership.
Hmm.
So therefore, he knows if you're strong, if you're able to do the things that you need to do to be the best person that you can be, he's not focused on you because he's focused on himself as well. So
Wow.
while I'm doing my thing and trying to do the best that I can to be the person that I want to be, like I'm not living vicariously through my husband or through my kids or through my life or through everybody else's life. I'm following my own path that makes it strong for me. And he sees that and he values that because the only way that he can be the best part of himself is that I'm the best part of me. So there's a lot of different signs that a man shows you within himself, the strength that he has within himself, how he treats his mom without allowing his mother to control how his relationship is. But
Hmm.
that the Bible says, when you marry, you
Hmm.
cleave to your wife and everything else comes secondary. Like
Hmm.
our kids don't come before us. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Now God comes before all of it,
Hmm.
and He comes before me. Like He values Himself. He's got to value Himself as much as He values God. Also, another good thing is a man that loves God, like truly loves God,
Hmm.
and reads the Bible. Not everybody's religious. So I
Hmm.
want to always say that because I don't want people to think that I'm saying everybody got to go to church or whatever. This is
Hmm.
just my journey.
Hmm.
And I just truly believe that if you can be the strongest part of who you are and allow a man to be the strongest part of who he is, it can only grow who you are. Okay, let me just say it like this.
Yes. Go ahead, Miss D.
When I married my husband,
Hmm.
um, um, when I met my husband was going through a divorce, right? But when I met him and I fell in love with him, I fell in love with everything that came with it, right? But I didn't allow it to control who I was.
Hmm.
So, in the middle of my husband and I, in our marriage in 30 years, we both have gone back to college and gotten our bachelor's and our master's, and he started on his doctoral studies, right?
Oh wow.
So, we became the best part of ourselves. I've started my own business. We've had amazing jobs.
Hmm.
We've had an amazing life together. We've had our good and we've had our bad, but the choices that we make within this union is what creates the boundaries. Martel's, the difference is Martel has a weak mind,
Hmm.
meaning that he thinks his stuff doesn't stink.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't value, he never valued male. He valued himself more than valued anything else. There's an arrogance, there's a
Hmm.
narcissism, there's all these things that you see that you look at and you're saying, That's not the way I want my husband to be. It has nothing to do with how good he looks.
Mm-hmm.
Looks are deceiving, and looks last for only so long.
Mm-hmm. And that's
What
how.
else, what conversations do you have? Like, what do you want that only can be a union with both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you both are like the strength that Mel has. He was jealous of Mel's strength.
Mm-hmm.
He was jealous of her strength, and you could see it. He did not want her to shine more than him. That made him livid. You could
Mm-hmm.
see it. It was obvious.
Oh my gosh. No,
I
I
hope I explained it and well enough.
Miss D, you explained it great. I'm so glad you joined this. You decided to chime in because let me read you what the chat is saying. So
What are they saying?
Patricia said, I agree with the caller. Men, well, when you were talking about how people would do what only they will, people only do what you allow them to do. So she was like, this is
Absolutely.
true.
Agreed.
They
Hmm.
will only do what you allow them to do. Linda said, the caller is right. Lakeisha said, I agree with the caller too. When people show you who they are, believe them because the apple doesn't fall
Doesn't
far from
fall
the
too far.
tree.
Absolutely. And you could
um,
tell that his mother, the way his mother is toward him
woo,
and
mm-hmm,
relationships, like there's she's she's not showing signs of being in a relationship that was lasting. Like you can
mm-hmm,
see the signs, and for her to say to him, "You act just like your father." At the end of the day, regardless of whether he acts like his father or not, it's up to me as a woman. I got a son, two sons, and I have two daughters. Right?
mm-hmm,
Um, the choices and the decisions I make with them, even growing up, is about their moral compass. It's about how they are as an individual, morally, spiritually, mentally, physically. All of that comes together. And I don't ever want the bad decisions that I make in my life to guide the decisions I make for my children or what I made for my now adults. Um, I try to be an example no matter what. I always had their backs, but I'm not gonna ever coddle them to the point where if they're wrong, they're wrong, and I'm gonna call you on it. And one thing I'm not gonna do is protect your wrong, but I am gonna stick by you, and
mm-hmm,
I'm always going to steer you the right way. My mother is no longer with me. She died in 2015. But what I loved about my mom, even when my husband and I disagreed, I would go to her and I would say, Mom, because my mom was a pastor's wife, right?
mm-hmm,
So I would go to her and I would say, Mom, go to her and vent to her about the things that my husband and I are going through. I wanted my mom in that moment to say, "Baby, I got your back. Baby, I love you. You my baby girl, and he better not ever mistreat you." I wanted her to be that way with me, honestly.
mm-hmm,
But my mother would always steer me in what was right and according to what the word of God would say how to handle something. Because regardless, the wisdom in the Bible is what can lead you to right and what can lead you to wrong. It can determine how you got to read you truly read it and have an open mind about what is right and wrong. Because in your mind, we all have choices, right?
mm-hmm,
Good and bad, evil or not, right?
mm-hmm,
Evil or good. The choices that we make in life determines that. You
mm-hmm,
make the choice about what you want to do. Martel knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew it.
mm-hmm,
He knew it. You could tell because in conversation he would say it, but his arrogance would pull him back to being the victim.
mm-hmm.
He wants to be the victim in everything because he's not willing to see himself in his wrong.
And I guess that's where the pride and arrogance comes from too, because
Hmm.
I feel like
Hmm.
some people feel like they can't be wrong, like, but it's okay. It's
Hmm.
like humility is also strength. So
Hmm.
being okay with like, okay, I don't know the answers. Okay, like I
Hmm.
did mess up. Just there's nothing wrong with being humble. And I
I love
I
that. Hmm.
never heard him say, I
ever.
was wrong. Right. I never
Hmm.
really, and it would be like, okay, Martel. Like, so
Hmm.
someone in the chat, I don't know if you heard, but someone in the chat said they feel as though that the baby does not necessarily have to be a deal breaker. Well, his outside child doesn't have to be a deal breaker if he would have just, apologize and repent.
Humbled himself,
Say it again.
humility, and humbled himself in humility.
Okay.
He had no humility. He thought his stuff did stink. He
So
thought
do
he.
you think with that, if he did apologize and was like real humble, do you think that Mel would have like still stuck with him, or what are your thoughts
I
on
think
that?
she wanted to. I really think she did.
Even with the baby.
But even with the baby, I think. Well, no. Let me just say this. I think when everything hit the fan, the difference is you don't know what a person is saying behind closed doors. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what he was saying to Mel in those moments behind closed doors. You don't know if he was saying to her, I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to, be better. I'm going to be a better man. You don't know what he was saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you really don't. So I believe that he was saying things to her behind closed doors that he wasn't willing, when he got out in public, he wasn't willing to honor. So I think she wanted to give him a chance. I truly believe she did. For the
Yeah.
sake of their family. They had 4 kids together. Think about
Mhm.
it like this. When Mel came on the show, when this show first started, he didn't, at the time, we didn't know that Ariane had babies or whatever. All we knew was about this woman. We didn't
Right.
know her name. We didn't know who she was. We didn't know anything. We just knew that he had had an affair. The problem was, excuse me, is that remember, on live TV, he told us and he told her that he was no longer, that was over with, he was done with that. He tried to embarrass the girl to call her all these names, but
Yeah.
he wasn't willing to let go. I think it was his weakness, the weakness in being a man.
Hmm.
And I can't say all men are weak. I would never say that. And I won't say all men are the same. I
Right.
just believe there are some that have more self control than others
Hmm.
and value themselves morally, mentally, physically, and would never do that. And also, I think it has a lot to do with having a fear of God. I truly believe that. I
Hmm.
believe if you truly love God more than you love yourself, that's what draws humility. Like when you can let go of self, we all have those moments where we are not willing to be humble in the
Hmm.
middle of strife, or like if you get in a disagreement with someone and you know you're really wrong and you still want to act like your stuff don't stink, like I'm better than that. I mean that I'm too good for this. Like I like, you're not wrong and you really are. And deep down inside of you, you're saying I'm wrong, but you're unwilling to relent and let it go. So I think for him, he was never willing to truly be in the moment of being a husband, uh, and a provider. And I think it had a lot to do, besides being weak, I think he has low self esteem.
Right. I agree with that too. I seen a comment in here. I'm gonna get your opinion on it. I'm gonna read some more. But April Trust said, caller better say it. Fem Capital says she's speaking God truth when you were talking. She said that. But I want to get your opinion on this. Stay Tuned Review said, when you were talking about relationships and marriages being a partnership, he said
Hmm.
if it's a partnership and the man allows the woman to be independent, then who is going to lead?
The man is going to leave because at the end of the day, he is the leader of the house. But
Mhm.
there's a point in time in a relationship that a man allows a woman, not allow, I guess you have to look at it in a different allowance. because I can allow you to talk to me. That's a choice that I'm making. That's what I mean by allow. He can allow himself to be humble enough
Mhm.
to let the woman be who she is. When I say that, I mean if he trusts her vision and he trusts her, if he trusts her vision and he trusts her, she can be whatever she want to be and he's going to have her back.
Mhm.
You know why? Because he's fully confident in what he's capable of doing.
Mhm.
He don't need her to piggyback on her to be strong or to
Mhm.
have strength or to be the best person that he can be. He's going to be himself and be that while allowing her to be herself and be that. You get what I'm saying?
I
Like
do.
when I was going to school full time and working full time, so was my husband. We both had the kids, the responsibility of that as well.
Mhm.
I had to go to school at night. I'd get up at work and have to go to school, go straight to school, 7 o'clock, be at school, 8 o'clock, be at school, and be there to 10 and 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? I'd
Mhm.
leave at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So with my husband, until my husband started working from home. But when he did, we didn't go to school at the exact same time. In some cases, we did because when I was getting my MBA, he was getting his doctoral studies, going to his doctoral studies. But where I fell short, he was there to hold it down. Like he had the kids, making sure the kids they got their homework, making sure my kids at that point in time were in high school. My kids were 5 years apart at that time. My daughter just went off to college, but my son was still in high school. So somebody had to be there to raise and to take care of the bills and take care of the house and still be strong as a man and handle
Mhm.
those roles while I did what I needed to do. Because at the end of the day, my education is what was going to propel me to the next level so we could attain the things that we wanted to obtain. To be able to do the things that we wanted to do, to go on the trips that we wanted to go on, to um, pay for our kids' education, to buy our next home, to buy a new car, with just go on trips, whatever we decided to do, those things don't happen on their own. Of course, I would have loved to have gone to college with, and I did all those things before I got married, but that wasn't the era that I grew up in. My kids have it different. My daughters are 30 something years old and they have careers, like serious careers now. My son has a serious career. Son's the engineer. My daughter is I have a daughter that's a general manager. And I have another daughter that's um, a social worker,
Mhm.
They doing great things for themselves, right? But for them to be able to see that, to see us go through the struggles and the things that we went through as a couple, they saw my husband be a man and lead. They saw me be a woman and lead. However that looked, it takes two people to really grow a relationship. But
Mhm.
it has nothing. I always respected my husband as the lead. Always,
Mhm.
always. But I'm a strong black woman. I don't play.
Mhm.
But for him to be able to deal with me, he had to be strong. There's no wimp in me. I come up in a family of 10 kids next to the oldest. I had to be strong. I came from a black neighborhood where it was 50 kids in the classroom and we had to share a book.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? I came from a
Yes.
different era, all black high school. Everybody in my high school, although we went through struggles, we saw each other go through struggles every day. And every most of the people I went to high school with went to college and did great things on businesses, lawyers, attorneys, professors. we all did really great things because we were true to ourselves and we knew who we were. I can't say everybody didn't make mistakes because we all do. I made mistakes, but I also knew who I was as an individual and the strength within myself, the strength from my ancestors, the strength of who I believed in myself to be. You know, that's what it came down to. Just the strength that Mel has. That's an inner strength that nobody can ever take away from her.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that Martel did not see his own strength.
Mm-hmm.
Power couple can only be a power couple with two people being the best of themselves
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way it can work. My kids have their own. They understand. They grew up in a different era, but they truly understand. These are some. Even though these are some traditional things that my parents um, grew up in, this is what I expect from my man, or this is what I expect from my woman, or the person that I want to be with and spend the rest of my life with. And if I'm not willing to not to allow anybody to come in my life and do anything, because I still expect them to be like my dad, or I still expect the strengths of my dad or the strengths of my mom. Just that's just the way it is. I
Oh,
hope I answered your question.
you did, you did. I'm gonna segue into like another question because I seen this comment. So, what programs you started for BM? I wrote a book, and sis, I know what interview you talking about with that YouTube name, but yeah, but do you know that you know the interview?
You talking about the individual,
Uh huh.
the
Uh-huh.
YouTuber?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We gonna have to talk about the that one.
Yeah, right. Okay. Because I'm like, oh snap, they really use. I'm like, I know, I heard that before. I'm like, oh, they talking about that interview. But so this person is a so this person said Mel is still young and she
Yeah,
escaped a narcissist who wanted full control. He is jealous of her and now she is
absolutely,
excelling and God is letting Martel watch. And then
absolutely.
this Stay Tuned review said the Bible says to be fruitful and multiply as well as God loves a cheerful giver. That man was just doing God's will.
Doing God's
And I
what?
wanted to talk about this a little bit. Oh, did you hear me?
What man was doing God's will?
He trying to say that Martel was doing God's will because the Bible say be fruitful and multiply. But that's not how
Be
you're missing
fruitful
the
and multiply with the person that you are committed to.
yep that you in covenant
You
with.
think
Right.
God honors you being WHORE? You think God honors that?
Exactly. Uh-huh.
You think God honors a man or even a woman choosing to give away their body? Do you understand why he is failing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand why he's failing?
There
He's
we go.
failing because he did not honor what God gave him. The Bible says, before I can make you ruler over many, I need you to be faithful over the few things I have you over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a difference because Mel is being faithful over what she is over. Martel wasn't faithful over what God gave him control over. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
have control over Ariane. He chose. That was a decision that he made to
Mm-hmm.
go outside of his marriage. That was a decision. That wasn't something God led him to do.
Exactly. That was his flesh talking.
That's flesh, baby.
And the April had to come in and say, if anyone knows the Bible, it says in the Ten Commandments, thou
There you
shalt not
go.
commit adultery.
But that still comes to the point of you gotta trust your body
Mhm.
and value your body. It should be like the apple. The whole purpose of me telling that story about the apple, because that's how much you should value you.
Mhm. And look, I know you mentioned as far as well, you basically were probably like directing it towards women, but this also goes for men as well. Like you're supposed to
Hmm.
value your seed.
Value.
You
That's
should
what I'm saying. Even with a
yeah.
man, like my
Mhm.
husband values himself. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
even, and I'm gonna get a little bit more. adulting in this conversation.
Okay.
The more sex you have, the more open your vagina is.
Mm-hmm.
The more sex that a man has, the more he's giving away his fruits of his labor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do those things, you're taking away the thing that God gave you as the most sacred thing in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a choice. I can't get mad at anybody however they choose to live their life. So if you feel like your body, you don't you don't believe in the fact that you should value your body that much, then that's on you. I can't make you change that. And you can say it's based on the era that we grew up in. My parents grew up in a different era than I did, right? But I believe that there are some things that you hold dear to yourself. One of them is your own body, because those are the things you can control. You
Mm-hmm.
can't control what a man does. You can't control what another person does. You can't control what they say. You can only control you. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say control you, I mean control what you do with you,
Mm-hmm.
what you put
Exactly.
in your mind, what you put in your body, how you eat, when you exercise, when you take care of your body. All the decisions that you make is based on what you're able to control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And control means that you're controlling who you give your vagina to,
Yep.
who you give your DICK to. Those are the things that you can control. Who you give your penis to. That's what you can control. You should value your penis just as much as a woman values her vagina. It's
Yep.
just that simple.
Yep.
You should value yourself more. Like, you should look at yourself as a prize. When
Mm-hmm.
you allow yourself to be that vulnerable to someone else's determination of what that looks like who you give yourself to, you have just now given your whole self away. You've given your mind, the thing that you hold the most sacred, you've allowed someone else to have control over. Nobody's
Yes.
ever gonna have that control over me. No.
Yep.
Not even my husband. My husband don't have control over my vagina. I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have control over his penis. He does. You get what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And I
Yes.
mean that in the best way possible, because I'm not here to talk about sex. I'm here to talk. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I've been in this world a long time. There are some things that I do have some wisdom in,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing, and because I've gone through it, I've experienced it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I can tell you this much: the decisions and the choices that you make, you pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I There are so many examples in this world that you can see. There are people that I've seen that have allowed someone to come in. They're still trying to hold those things sacred, but the person that they're choosing to align themselves with don't have the same value system that they have. And they're so busy trying to push their value system on to them that it's taken away what they hold dear and sacred. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to blame everybody else. Mel not one time ever blamed the woman. She
No,
blamed her husband
that's
because
true.
he was in control of what he did. She didn't blame her. She not one time, very few times did she ever mention the other woman. When she did, she mentioned the other woman in respect to what her husband did with the other woman, like what he chose to do.
Yep.
It was never about, okay, I'm blaming her. No.
It's like you said, it's not a lot of fear of God, because when you have fear of God, you also realize like I can't treat God's daughter or son any kind of way because I'm going to be held accountable. Like I think about
Hmm.
that kind of thing. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I feel like we think only God loves us, but no, he loves
Hmm.
everybody. So if
He loves us
I'm just
all. Like,
yeah,
that's why
right.
he
So
gives us all chances over and over and over again. You
yes.
know, when we are godly sorry and go to him, we can be godly sorry and then 5 minutes later go back and do the exact same thing. Doesn't necessarily mean he won't honor that. Um, because he does forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive more than we would ever forgive. Because, and like, I'm a strong believer in, you show me who you are the first time, I believe you.
I love
Doesn't
it.
mean I don't love you, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I am going to, in that moment, I'm going to treat you with kid gloves
Mm-hmm.
and love you from afar.
Mm-hmm.
Because God gave me that knowledge to do that, that common sense to do that.
Right. You will know them by their fruits. And your fruits is
Mhm.
telling me
Yeah, speak the word, girl.
right. I try. So Patricia said yes, caller. And Doreen said so true, caller. And April said, thank you, Miss D, because Mel had no reason to cheat or disgrace herself if in any kind of way. For her
And
husband
you
was
could,
doing it enough for her and everyone on the show. Well, that was good, April. That was the only thing I
yeah,
felt like
speak, April, trust,
you
speak.
right. That was the only thing I was a little upset about. I'm not saying that I
Hmm.
didn't see where Melody was coming from when she did step out, but
Right.
I was like, dang, she could have walked away almost like squeaky clean. Because let me read to you what Stay Tuned Review said. Oh, wait.
Hmm.
This one. He said Mel cheated though. Her type of cheating may have led her side guy towards eating her forbidden fruit, but she disrespected her marriage. And I'm like, you know what?
That may have been true. You're absolutely correct. Because I think um, until you get the papers,
Right,
you still married.
right.
Even if you're separated, you're still married.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a dynamic that comes in a marriage, and I try not to fault people when they stray. I think there's a dynamic that goes in a marriage, that you do everything you can to make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there comes a point in time where a person, whether it be a man or a woman, can be so degraded within that marriage
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that they want to hurt that other person, and they become, because if you look at it, you think about it, some of the things that she talked about, like you can hear conversations where her kids talk about, mom came and talked to us about it, or her were during the time when she noticed that he was doing the things that he was doing. I remember people talking about she went with her beautician to go seek this woman out, and which is the same thing the other young lady said. I can't call her lady. Lord Jesus, help me in this moment. But how the other individual stated that she came to her door
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she felt like she was going to tell this woman something as if she didn't already know, because clearly she knew you were doing something and she came to your door.
Mm-hmm.
And many women go through this where they feel so, they're like, well, if you can hurt, if you can do this, I can do the same thing. Doesn't mean it's right. Wrong is wrong. Right is
Mm-hmm.
right. Wrong is wrong. If you step outside of your marriage, you're doing just as much disgrace as the other individual. That was why at some point in time she said, this is it. This is the final straw. Because I can't allow myself to go down a rabbit hole with him.
Mm, that's good. Yes.
I can't allow myself
Mm-hmm.
to him to take me to this place, because there's a part of me that says I gotta hold myself accountable. I got kids that I gotta show how to be a lady and how to deal with the situation the right way.
Right.
And they can't say that we're all human and we make mistakes and we go through things that have made us do some crazy stuff and made us make some decisions that may not have been the right decision in that moment. Um,
Very well
but
said.
the difference is when you're able to come back from it and say, you know what, I got to walk away from this thing because I'm going down a dark place that that's not who I am,
Right. Ah, I love
you
how you
know?
put that. Yes. I'm gonna read another comment. You can stick up here
Hmm.
if you want, but let me know if you gotta go. But I want to read
Oh, I'm
this
good.
other comment. Okay, because I want to kind of get your opinion on it because I
Hmm.
kind of agree with it.
Hmm.
But so Nelonine, I hope I'm saying her name right, but she said Melody wanted
Melody?
her Nelonine.
Naloni. Naloni?
Nelonine. She said Melody wanted her
Repeat
kids to have what
this.
she never had in her childhood. So I felt like that probably was a reason why she stayed too.
Yeah, and you got to remember, both of them were children. They didn't have siblings. Like Mel had siblings. They had siblings outside of their, but it wasn't from their
In the
parents.
household.
So they
Mm-hmm.
didn't come from a two-parent household with other children that their parents had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they both came from such a similar background. That's what attracted them to each other. They had,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to see themselves have the life that they saw that they may have dreamed about,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Um, so I can see how Mel look because you don't know what he was saying in behind closed. I'm telling you, there's a difference. What a man can tell you versus what he show others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he was doing this kind of stuff, I'm sure, well before their marriage. But
Mm-hmm.
he was good at his game, and he was good at hiding it to the point where she didn't notice it. Sorry,
Okay.
he was good at hiding it. So she she learned to like she and I think there may have been a lot of red flags. There was probably a whole lot of things that if she had paid attention to it, then she probably never would have married him. But when you're young and in love,
Mm-hmm.
you make some crazy decisions.
You
You got to
do.
really, and that's why you got to be led by. I say this all the time. You got to be led by your intuition and the the gifts that God give you to see what's right and what's wrong. That intuition, that it's a word that I'm trying to use. The God given, what does the word call it?
So
The
the
Bible
way.
talks about it. It's basically the intuition. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
intuition, but God gives you that sense to know when this is not right. And you hear people talk about it all the time. You know, I knew it, and something was telling me, God was telling me, and I just didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
It happens, you know, even when you're talking about your finances, we're talking about it in every aspect of your life. You get ready to go out that night, something tells you maybe you shouldn't step out that door, and you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out and you meet somebody you shouldn't have met.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how you spend your money. You know, okay, I'm gonna forego this to do this so I can have fun in the moment. And then a week later, you suffering behind the decisions you make. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different ways that we do that. This just so happened to be that she was in a marriage. You
Right.
know,
So
and
let
I agree with Naloni. Naloni, I think I said that right.
yeah.
I believe with her. I agree with her that she definitely wanted her kids to have something she never had. We all do. I remember when I met my husband, I knew exactly what I wanted from a man. And I was looking for those things in a marriage. I was looking for those things in a man that maybe I didn't like, because I came from a home where a family of 10 kids. However, my mother had um, 3 kids before my dad, 2 kids actually. She had two that wasn't my dad's children, my stepdad's children.
Mm-hmm.
And so when, like, I had a different father than my other siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I came from a single parent household. Even though I grew up with all my siblings that were from my mom and my stepdad, that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my blood. So the one that came from my blood was me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from my mom and my dad was me. So there was always this thing in me that said, I want all my kids to be about the same man. I
Mm-hmm.
want all my kids, like, I want to be married to the man that I choose to devote myself to. And I remember dating, and I always dated with the intentions that I was going to marry. So
Mm-hmm.
if you were not marriage material, I don't want to date you.
Next. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I, just the thought, everything, every time I would talk to a guy, the first thing I'm looking at is he marriage material? I need to find out more about him to see what he's about.
I love
I'm
that.
not gonna get my heart involved. And I remember that puppy love. That puppy love don't play. you know? And I was like, now I know how that feel. Not
Right.
giving my heart to anybody unless I know for sure this is the person I want to be with and spend the rest of my life with. So I'm
Um,
quite sure Mel was thinking the same thing.
right. And it's, I'm glad you mentioned that because you know we've been talking about the Bible, but even the Bible say guard
Hmm.
your heart. Because I do
Very
feel like
much.
these situations, because you don't want
Hmm.
to give your heart to the wrong person that God never
Hmm.
intended you to be with. 'Cause I'm so tired,
Hmm.
soul ties is real. Like, oh my gosh.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you something else too,
Hmm.
Miss D. How long have you been watching this show? Have you been watching it from the beginning or
So to be absolutely honest with you, I started watching it from the beginning,
oh,
but
okay.
right at the probably I in the last 2 years I haven't watched it. I probably pick up more information from YouTube than I do
The actual show.
watching the show. I just
Gotcha.
because there's so much jealousy and animosity. I don't want to feed that into my spirit every time. Like it is enticing to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like for instance, I respect Kimmy. Kimmy has a strong continuity. I would say Kimmy and Stormy has a strong continuity like Mel. I love that about her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the difference is that I see in Marceau and his wife, and even Destiny, and even the other young lady that's on there. Um, I see because they don't have the strong continuity. It's not because they. I think it's just one of those situations where they're choosing not to exercise a strong continuity,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes across as weakness and jealousy, and so um, Marceau and his wife Tisha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think she's going through some of the same, maybe not everything, but some of the same things that Mel went through. But her pride chooses not to allow anybody to see that
I'm like, oh,
because
and
she wants everybody to continue to believe that she and her husband and her marriage is perfect
mm-hmm.
when everybody see that it's not. Like he has some of the same
Mm-hmm.
characteristics as Martell,
Yeah,
birds of a feather.
exactly. Yeah, but Tisha,
Discernment. That's it, baby.
yeah,
Discernment. I was trying to
yeah,
say that, Miss I Shirley am. I was
they were in the chat helping me. I meant to tell you. I was like,
intuition and discernment. I was trying
yep.
to say
It,
discernment because you hear Melody talk about it all the time. Oh no, God's giving me discernment. Nope, I listen
yeah.
to God's discernment, you know. And I
Uh-huh.
think that's what you have to listen to. You have to pay attention to the the God given signs that God is giving you to show you that something is not right. Like you can sense, even when you're talking to someone and their conversation, how they act, what they say. Um, it comes across, and you can see, that conversation is not right,
Mm-hmm.
or this is not the way God wants me to go. Even in the decisions you make about the people that you choose to align yourself with. Um, yes, ma'am, Miss Jeanette Stewart. It's absolutely discernment is what is referred to in the Bible, honey. Um,
Mm.
we say intuition, God says discernment.
There we go.
But even the people that you choose to align yourself with, the things you say, the places you go, it's all dependent on how you are listening to God speak to you in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. Is you know what you're allowing yourself to be a part of in that moment, like the things that you listen to, even the conversations you have, the people that you're around. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to put up the dishes too while I'm at it. Get some stuff done. But the people you align yourself with, all of that determines how you are as a person. It determines the decisions you make in life. It helps you and guides you in doing the right thing. And I think that's what Mel is more in tune right now with her discernment and intuition. It's powerful, and I love to see that. And that's what makes you a strong woman, is
Mhm.
being able to answer to that. Men have the same thing. It's a choice, though. Like, and you can tell when you see somebody utilizing that side of themselves, like utilizing the discernment that God has given them. You can tell and you see it, and you're like, oh yes, oh my God, and it attracts you to that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? To their
Yes.
energy, to what they're talking about, their conversations. You know why people like to hear what males say, or to even listen to her live, is because of her wisdom
Hmm.
and what she's choosing to align herself with in that moment. That's what's attracting people to her channel. People are getting jealous and upset that she has that pull, but it's what she's doing. It's her conversation.
Hmm. She lives in her truth. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And she's
Hmm.
not trying to put on airs or anything like that. It
Hmm.
take it or leave it.
Hmm.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God, Miss D,
I
this
agree.
was amazing. Feel
I
free to join my
know.
chat any other time.
Absolutely.
um,
I'm gonna send. I'm gonna reach out to you. Do you have an Instagram?
yes, it's my name on there. Hold on. It's literally Synquetta. So I'm on. It's my name on Instagram, Twitter, and it's spelled
Hmm.
exactly like that.
Where are you? Where do you live? Where are you located?
I'm on the East Coast, Northeast. So like the Philadelphia,
Gotcha.
Maryland,
Okay.
East,
Got it.
around.
So I'm in Texas. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, as a matter of fact.
Oh, all right. Oh, we got a lot of Texas people that come through in the chat. So you guys are an hour behind. So what is 9:30 over there?
Yes, actually 9:30 right now.
Oh my God. So I randomly do this. So I know you say just so happened to be on YouTube and seen the stream. So do
Hmm.
not forget to subscribe. And you can always join again when I go live because the chat loved you. You know what I mean? You
Oh,
gave
thank
great points.
you.
Yes. If you go back and
Thank
like
you.
read the chat, they're like, yes, caller, yes, caller. So feel
Thank
free to do
you.
this. And these are the conversations that I do want to have because I'm like your kids' age. I think you said
Hmm.
your daughter, like I'm probably like your daughter's
And,
age. So
and this is why I was gonna reach out to you. I was gonna try to reach out to you on Instagram, because maybe
mhm.
we can do something like this, get together and invite my daughters one day to come and conversate with you, and even like, just invite other people to come and have a conversation, like a real life conversation, and be
Yes.
truthful and honest about what relationships look like and what they are looking for in relationships, and how we
Mhm.
can help one another. I don't know everything, but the wisdom that I do have, I'm willing to impart that into others, because I
Mhm.
think experience is the best teacher.
Mhm. And it's like
And
I also feel like if you already went through it and seen the path,
mhm,
like I would be a fool
mhm,
not to listen. You know what I know I'm gonna have to
mhm,
still walk my own path, but if you can tell me like I've been through this, where you're about to go, and it's about to be a pothole. If you keep walking, you can
mhm,
keep walking, but I'm just trying to tell you, like I want to listen. Like I'm not one of
mhm,
those people. They say like a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the
mhm.
mistakes of others. So like
That's it.
like I don't want to go through nothing if I don't have to. You know, it's going to be
You
some
read
things
your
I
Bible a
do.
little bit, huh?
You know, so that's why it was fun. You were right on point speaking what you were speaking because I'm like I'm a Christian, I'm a believer too. So like
Hmm.
yes, so you can
And
say
it's different
that.
though when you on one accord with one another in the way you
Mhm.
think and process things. Because I think we're all just trying to figure this thing out called life.
Yes.
Sometimes we are all going through different experiences in our life that we need to share with one another, and also that those moments where we need to learn from other people as well. So,
Exactly.
but I would love for my daughters, and maybe even my son to come and have this conversation with us one day, so that we
Hmm.
can all learn from each other, and they can go over their experiences and what they see and how they're moving. Like, I think it's good for us all to share. We're all from different parts of the world, and be able
Hmm.
to share what that looks like.
And that is one of the topics like that. The people here in the stream they mentioned like we need to talk about this about relationships, you know. So
Hmm.
that is something I really don't mind getting together,
Me
making it
too.
work for everybody's schedule, and we do
I've
this
been
again.
talking about it, actually, been talking about it a while with my siblings, and even with just some of my friends, my children, other couples, because I like to invite other people to come on and just give their perspective of what that looks like, especially people that have positive, like they're positive role models, that
Mm-hmm.
can kind of go over what propels a positive um, couple relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and what they're looking for. What do you see in your relationship? How do you see your relationship growing? What can you do to improve? What are some of the things that you think that the Word of God has helped you in being the best person that you can be within your relationship? Even if you don't have one, what are you looking for? And what are you willing to accept and what are you not willing to accept,
Exactly. And then Linda, I want
Hi,
Linda,
Linda. You
I
live
want
in
Linda on the
Texas?
panel too. Cause I think Linda, we were talking about doing something, talking about relationships too. So
Linda
Linda,
Gamble?
yep,
That'd
Linda.
be cool.
Yeah, she's in Texas too. Look, Texas sisters. But yes. So all right, Miss D. Um,
It
reach
was a
out to me on
pleasure.
Instagram. Huh?
I will. I'll definitely do that. And hey, if you see me on there, just reach out to me, leave me a little message or whatever, and I'll be glad to, reach out to you guys as well. And we can see if we can get together, even if it's once every 2 weeks or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
let's sit down and let's talk about what it takes to have um, positive relationships, what
Mm-hmm.
that looks like,
Yes.
and to see other people grow and be the best that they can be in a relationship.
I
I
love
think
this.
it's perfect.
Yeah, this had to be God ordained. You know what I mean? You see how you just because I at first I was having technical difficulties. I almost gave up.
Were
Like,
you? See, I
man.
missed that part. I heard when I came on, I kind of rewinded back to see what you were talking about
Hmm.
because I want to hear the conversation. Like I heard it and I was like, okay, it sounds like something I want to talk about or hear. Um, so let me hear what she has to say. And then I heard she had technical difficulties, but I loved your conversation. And there's a level of wisdom that you can hear in your voice. So I was like, you know what, this will be cool because I'm not definitely not opposed to speaking with younger people and hearing their perspective as well. I mean, I have my kids are young. My youngest is how old is my son? He just turned 26 this year. 25, 26. I'm not gonna tell you I don't know his
it,
age, but my
sometimes it
oldest
all
is
runs
35.
together. I understand.
Mhm, 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 mhm. But
But
they're amazing. So I love what they do, and I love who they are and who they're the people that they're becoming
mhm.
because you can see the wisdom. And I'm like, oh Jesus, thank you. I had a little bit to do with that.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say
Mhm,
too. Yes, you and your
mhm,
husband, you know what I mean? That it makes a difference. It really
mhm,
does. It makes a
mhm.
difference
It
seeing
does.
parents,
Mhm,
come together and two people
mhm.
love each other, and work out there.
Absolutely.
It does. It makes a difference. It, gives you the
Mhm.
confidence to show up in the world fully as yourself because you have your mom
Absolutely.
and your dad, you know.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
before I
But
let
it
you
takes
go,
it takes both people to want that to make want to make that work too. It's not
that's true.
just one person. I think that's where I don't I think and I'm gonna say this again, I think that Martel has low self-esteem. I think he does.
Hmm.
And he wants to show people that he doesn't.
Hmm.
But you don't have to prove it to anyone. It's gonna show up in who you are, like that level of maturity. That's what I was gonna say. It's the maturity. Like you can see the maturity level in Mel is well past his maturity level. She
Hmm.
was trying to get him to her level of maturity and wisdom, but he's not there. You
Hmm.
can tell because of the women that he's choosing in his life.
Hmm.
Even when it comes to Sheree, because Sheree's level of maturity is different. It is.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
So
even the choices that she makes. So there's
mhm.
that. We can talk about this another time, though.
I was gonna
I
say, so
think this leads
I
into
could pull you,
something.
I could pull you into some of these topics that's going on that be trending. Okay,
Let's
yes,
let's yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's get together and do that.
okay, Miss
I
D.
like that.
Don't forget.
Just reach out to me and let's see when we can do this again.
Well, what's your thing on Well, it may be easier if you find me on Instagram. It's literally just my name.
And is it spelled with the E as well
Mm-hmm. Yep.
at the end? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Will do.
It's
And
literally
thank
you.
you, everyone, for allowing me
Mhm.
to speak my piece and
We
share my
celebrate you.
experience with you guys as well.
Yes. Come on back. But yes, we're gonna coordinate something.
Will do. Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
you're welcome. Good night. Oh my gosh, wasn't she amazing, guys? I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed your dialogue as well. Chiming in, making the conversation interesting, like y'all always do. But I did want to, I kept putting up Helen's because I wanted Miss D to actually see this. And again, even Helen said it's definitely not the older generations. The older generations were the one wanting her to leave. I would say he's that I would say he's that want her to stay, or the woman with low self-esteem. I didn't think about that. And it could be the women that care about appearances. Because I kind of feel like they people want Melody and Martell to be together because it looks the part, and power couple and all that. Like, you know how we feel about Michelle Obama and Michelle Obama and Barack. Oh, it just looks really good. But I feel like, look now, if it's not feeling really good, if it's not really good in the marriage itself, then I don't care about appearances. I'm about to look dumb. And then that's just what it's about to be. Like, I'm just going to have to talk about me. But yes, D is Helen. Oh, God bless you, Miss D. Thanks for sharing. That's what Patricia said. And Fem Capital said, thank you for all this advice. May God bless you. You guys are so sweet. April, talk your talk. Let us know what's going on. I'm trying to get to. I know, like the thread, the chain was going. I am Cheryl. I wanted to go back and read your comment because you was speaking my language. Hold on, is this it? This one right here. It's a deal breaker for me because I will not allow another dime to go out of my house to that side chick. There was too much disrespect. I am Cheryl. Cheryl M. That's how I feel. I kind of feel that way when I think about the Wendy Williams situation with her ex-husband. I'm pretty sure they're divorced now, right? And basically, it felt like it was Wendy's money that was lavishing the side chick. No, you can go at that point. You know, y'all gonna have to suffer, but not on my dime. Not on my dime. I didn't work, and Wendy waking up in the morning, doing her shows day in and day out to be supporting my husband's infidelity. That's not what my money is going to be used for. So, no. So I totally agree with that being a deal breaker. And it was something else too. What was I watching? And they were talking about, this is why I don't want to date a man that already has kids, because it seems as though that the previous kids will always come first. But I forgot what I was watching, or I can't remember. Well, I was like, you know what? That's an interesting perspective too. You know, if you don't have any children at the moment, do you date a guy that does? Like, would you? Like, how do you feel about that kind of thing? Um, it was just something to think about. But I wish I could remember the situation I was watching, where I was seeing it play out on. Mm-mm. So April said, exactly, because to me, Mel made Martell, and she made him look good and brought him out. Yeah. I mean, dang. Okay? What do you guys think? Oh, never mind. I think we kind of discussed it. I was gonna say, what do you guys think initially attracted Mel to Martell? You know, in the very beginning when they were young, before they even probably walked down the aisle. But I feel like, when Miss D was on here, it could have been basically their childhood. That, them maybe having that same kind of, I don't want to say childhood trauma, but that's the only word I can think of. The same childhood trauma. And it kind of attracted them or whatever to each other. So, Helen said, I agree. The disrespect was over the top. Thank you for allowing me. Of course. Oh, Oh, oh my gosh, I'm so slow. I didn't know that was you. Okay, gotcha. Oh my gosh, I get it now. Oh, okay, that was you saying it. Okay, I feel so silly. I was gonna leave off on your comment because I'm like, oh yeah, someone just said this. I wanted to read this comment too because it basically went with what Miss D was talking about. Where is it? Mm-hmm. It was up here a little bit. Here we go. So before we even talked about the childhood things, Nelanie was already on it with this comment. She said Melody wanted to fix her Cinderella childhood. She wanted the two-parent household she dreamed of all her life. Her dad was not there for her. She wanted her kids to have more than she had as a child. And I agree. Okay, is it okay? I'm glad you said this because it's making me think like some of the things. Okay, when I'm looking for a partner, and maybe we'll talk about this on our relationship panel. I kind of want my partner to come from a two-parent household because I didn't, and I feel like that will kind of help kind of balance it out. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's almost like how can I model something that I didn't quite experience? But no, all things through the grace of God, of course. So I don't want to limit myself, but I feel like I would like that if he came from a two-parent household versus both of us maybe coming from a single-parent household. I mean, I feel like it definitely can work, but my preference, I guess, you know, how people be having their preferences. I feel like my preference is more towards like, okay, if he had two parents and it was healthy and not toxic kind of thing, I would be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I really like that. Because also, we talked about it last time I went live, the Chantel and Pedro, that situation. And I never forget when she was when they were going through their divorce, or you know, Pedro wanted the separation kind of thing. Chantel was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be because I didn't come from this. I didn't come from a broken family. And that's when it clicked. You know what I mean? So Pedro did. So Pedro probably didn't see anything worth fighting for because he really didn't get a chance to see the value of marriage or see two people work out their disagreements. So he could care less kind of thing versus Chantel really wanted to work it out because that's what was modeled to her. And that's when I really realized like y'all don't have to be the same, but maybe similar. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't have to have everything in common, but maybe the core value should be the same with that. I don't know. That's just how I'm thinking about it, but yeah. Mel was young and didn't know what she wanted in a man when she got with Martel. Yeah. And this is why I feel like because Mel didn't grow up with a father, like, you know, I don't want to say many of us, but you know, I feel like we may have to take a step back from dating and actually learn men, you know, just study them, you know, before dating kind of thing. Cause just kind of know. Because I'll never forget, I was watching this thing with T.D. Jakes, and he said sometimes women can turn their husbands or boyfriends into their girlfriends. You know, like how we're so talkative and expressive, and then we expect the man to kind of talk back and not to say men don't or they can't, but they're just like for the most part, or you know, they don't have that many words to say. So then we're mad at him because he don't understand our feelings when like he's a man. And I don't want to just say all men are like that, but you know, it just kind of opened up my eyes. Like, okay, yes, I probably could feel that way or put that burden on a man and not realizing like, oh, he doesn't communicate like me, you know? So it's just like, oh, all right. I'm learning. Or like I may be freaking out because he comes in the house and he just wants to like maybe sit down and read his newspaper. And I'm like, oh, here I am. Do you not see me? You don't want to talk to me? Like, you know? Well, maybe he just wants to sit back and relax. Like it's nothing personal, but he just maybe needs a little space, you know? So it's like all these things I'm learning. So yeah, like sometimes I just feel like you gotta maybe take a step back, observe, learn, and you know, learn how to be a daughter. Like I feel like I'm in a place where I'm learning to allow God to be my father and take care of me and go to him kind of thing, and not put the burden on myself so much. Cause you know me, I'm gonna do what it do. I'm gonna make some stuff shake. But I'm trying to realize like, okay, I have to let go and let God be, my father. So I, Shirley M, said the same thing happened to me except for we weren't married yet. Oh, but the one thing that was different was when she realized that she didn't have any place in his life. She moved on. Interesting. So it wasn't like when you left, it wasn't any fun anymore for the affair kind of. I heard that happens. A lot of times it's I feel like then they say like affairs are only fun because the wife don't know or because the marriage is still going on. But as soon as the wife or the main person leaves, that relationship like crumbles. That little side relationship crumbles because it was, I don't know, I guess it was more heightened because maybe they felt like they was doing something wrong kind of thing. But I find that interesting. hmm But what girl doesn't want to be like Cinderella and be happy and live that fairy tale dream life? But in Mel's case, Martel destroyed those dreams and fairy tale life when he cheated and got kids. Kids, didn't we talk about that on the last live? I feel like we talked about this. Allegedly, isn't Arian's baby not the only one? I don't know. I feel like did somebody bring that up? Because April, you put kids with an S. You made it plural. So I feel like this sounds familiar to me. um yeah. And I feel like Martel maybe had that same kind of fantasy as well. But I don't know what got in the way. I really don't. And one thing Carlos did say, I don't know if y'all remember that video I did about Carlos saying that he hopes that other men can maybe use Martel's story as a cautionary tale. And I feel like if not for nothing, hopefully a man that is thinking about stepping out, maybe he'll think twice after seeing everything that Martel lost. You know, like sometimes you need. I don't want to go too deep into that P and B Rock situation, but it kind of made me think twice about like, oh, I'm not going to post my location. I really never do. Most of the time, I do post my stuff once I get home and can edit it and tweak it and make it. So, but it just made me think twice. So sometimes I feel like, and I don't want to compare it, but like when something happens, sometimes that's when you kind of learn your lesson, or when like your mom's like, don't talk to him, don't date him, he's gonna break your heart, and you're just like, okay, But then when it happened, your heart actually get broken. You be like, okay, I see what you mean. I'm gonna move differently next time. So I feel like Martel, his story could actually serve as like an example to other men, as to say, like, let me chill out. Let me try and make it work with my lady before I mess up everything and can't, make it to the point of no return. So so Cheryl said love bomb. I surely am. That's cute. Now that I'm seeing it, I surely am. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? She said love bombing. That is a real thing. I was just reading about that. And it's a way to get you hooked, Because like what April said, what girl doesn't want to live that Cinderella life? I feel like we do get caught up in that. We kind of just want to fall in love without doing the vetting. And somebody said that in the beginning. I really feel like Disney movies and all that other stuff really like messed up our minds to make us think that relationships is all about rainbows and butterflies. But the partner, the person you're going to be with, is like one of the most important decisions you'll ever make outside of, accepting, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian kind of thing, is accepting Jesus Christ as Lord. But after that, it's like the person you're going to end up with, that is a huge decision. And I feel like I think we gotta sober up and not go for that feeling. Like we just want to kind of like relax ourselves. I heard someone say it made a lot of sense. Like we want to hurry up and fall in love so we can go back to how we felt as children with like no care in the world when everything was all rainbows and butterflies. And we look to kind of have those same experiences in a relationship. Like so now you can kind of be like your childlike self, or that somebody cares for you. You could just like relax kind of, but you can, but you got to make sure it's with the right person first before you get to relaxing, you know. Don't fall just yet. um, so Nelanie, you have to come up here and talk one of these days so you can have us pronounce your name correctly. Um, she said, but he could have come from a two-parent dysfunction household. True. You want to find a healthy mate and you get counseling on your issues of the childhood. Martel is sick and needs a lot of help. He really is a victim of his childhood. He needs exactly. And I feel like Martel probably got a pass because he was aesthetically pleasing to a lot of women, you know what I mean? And that's the thing too. So back to Ryan, cause back to Ryan, let me show y'all. So in April, I think it was you that said Ryan was fine, but everybody would say like Ryan is so toxic. Ryan is so toxic, but I just can't see it. I guess because he's very attractive to me. So it's almost like I don't see him doing any wrong. Like I just don't. So I can understand how like beauty or like attractiveness can blind a person or can make this person can get away with more than what your everyday person would get away with because they look good. And I feel like Ryan is an example of that for me. Martell, not so much, but Ryan, I'm like, oh my gosh, he is cute, kind of thing. But yeah. So, I saw that to say that Martell was probably the same way in a way, like, okay, he's wrapped in like his flesh, his suit, kind of his outside is very attractive. He's in shape, kind of thing. A lot of women like him or find him attractive, but it's the insides that gotta be attractive. You know, it's the soul that needs surgery. Sometimes I'll be thinking about that. No shade to anybody that wants to get plastic surgery or anything like that or fix themselves up, but I feel like when you're doing it for a trend or whatever, I feel like, no, it's okay. I mean, you can do what you want, but I do feel like it's more so the spirit that needs the surgery and not you. You're fine. It's like everything that somebody say they don't like, I wind up seeing somebody winning with that. So for everybody that think that men like a big old butt, I would like go outside and see a girl with no butt with a man, and it look like she happy and being treated right, So it's just like for everything that like society will put on a pedestal and boast up. If somebody has the opposite, I can point to that person and see them winning. You know, it's just like, and I feel like the main thing is just to have supreme confidence in yourself. Like love those things that people may not feel like is acceptable. If you love them, somebody else gonna love them. Because I feel like confidence is very attractive in anybody. So all right, sorry, my rant. Affairs are like sports to men. They don't view it as a life commitment. Jeanette, you were telling the truth. I feel like a few lives back we talked about that. How men kind of cheat for they don't really even cheat for the sexual experience. They kind of cheat, according to that article, to feel like a man again. They want to feel like they are superheroes or they're just, they need their ego stroke because maybe their wife isn't showing them that attention. They gave examples of like maybe the wife is her attention is kind of with the kids and things like that. So she's not really focused on her husband. And now the husband wants to get that attention elsewhere. But you're right, like they did say that. And then they broke it down to the differences in how women and men cheat. So, for instance, they said men would cheat with the same woman for like, however, for a long amount of time. But women actually cheat. They have like short rendezvous with different men. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so interesting. Ain't it? And it said like usually when men cheat, they do cheat down. But when women cheat, they cheat up. I just found that article very enlightening, like very informative. Like, who knew? Now, of course, cheating is bad, no matter who does it, but that article did a study on it. So Linda said Melody and Arian, both kids share the same birthday, but different year. This is really weird. Are you serious? Linda, what? Oh my gosh. I wasn't ready. I was not ready for that. I was not ready. Oh my gosh. Let me go back to this so y'all can see this. Um, I'm lost for words. Martel wants to hurt others, hurt people, hurt others. Yes, this is so true. But it's kind of like you were saying before, he needs help. Like, I don't want him to hurt people because he's hurt. Like, I want him to, you know, get better so he don't hurt nobody because he's a dad, you know? And I want him to be the best he can be for his kids. It's too late for male. Well, I mean, he can be the best. He can be the best co-parent, but if he can't get it right for her, then at least get it right for your kids. Sheesh. If men were to treat women how they treat their cars, then some of them would be treated good. This is true, April. That's how come, like, I guess on the subconscious level, women will, like, mess up the car, break in his car windows or slash his tires because they feel like they know that the man really does cherish or care about that car. So that will get him angry or get that reaction out of him. That's interesting. I should look into that. Like, why do women destroy men's cars? And like, if there's any correlation, like you said, in how they treat their cars, real nice. So Patricia said allegedly Martel has two other outside children besides them. So it was you, Patricia. I couldn't remember. Okay, so Linda said at Patricia he does have other children. I couldn't remember. I felt like we talked about it. I'm like, I think we talked about him having other kids. This is crazy. That's reckless. I hope not, because like you said, allegedly. I hope not. But sheesh. It's kind of like Nick Cannon. I don't know if y'all watch Lovely T on YouTube. She was just doing a live stream talking about how Nick Cannon just celebrated his 10th child or whatever. And we love kids. Kids are a blessing, but 10 kids in different households. That's the only thing. I don't care about nobody's choice, but it's more so like, what about the kids? That's all. Because I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. In the version from Coming to America, not the Whitney Houston version. I can't sing that good. So Linda said Carlos King did post that as a PSA. Really? Well, for which one? Let me see. What you going? Oh wait. About the birthdays? Okay, yeah, about the birthdays, possibly. April said marriage doesn't make the people make the marriage. Ooh, that's good. Didn't someone say too, like so much effort and emphasis goes into that day, the wedding day, and you kind of forget about the days afterwards. And I feel like that is true. And especially in our social media kind of our social media kind of generation where everybody's like flexing for the gram and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with that. Oh, Linda agrees too. Remember when I said that your attitude will make you an ugly person no matter how good / ugly you look? Exactly. That really do be turning women off. Like, like, oh, he fine. And then he open up his mouth and be like, not so much. But I can't say that about Ryan because Ryan is fine to me and I like what he be saying. And y'all know that's my reality TV show crush / husband in my mind. So, and guess what? He looked at my story on Instagram, y'all. I was hyped. I was like, ah! I get hype off of little things. So Linda said, there's a special person out there for everyone, but let God show you that person. Couldn't have said it better myself. I really agree with that. So Martel looks like a suited up monkey in this picture. You talking about here? But I like that suit. I like this blue color, this blue and black. I like this little outfit on here. Linda. Oh, hey, ADR. I mean, I feel like I be knowing y'all once I see y'all a lot because y'all like profile pictures and stuff like that. And of course y'all names, but like Look at this. This picture always stands out to me. So that's why I'm like, oh, ADR, hey. We in this. I'm glad you joined us. I'm waiting on his pants to burst. Y'all, they do be saying his clothes be tight. Wow, December 19th. So they got a birthday coming up. Well, not coming up, but in a few more months. December 19th. What are the odds? Stuff like that is so interesting to me. Like, what are the odds? Oh, thank you, ADR. Thanks for checking in and thanks for liking. um Okay. Oh, Rod Daniels. Hey, where you been at? You know, I remember Rod Daniels too. There's more women than men in the world. So single women have got desperate and are willing to share a man. I heard a woman say, "I'd rather have a piece of a man than no man." I heard women say that too, but I'd rather have my piece than a piece of a man. Ooh, bars. No, but like when I really think about it, because sharing is not caring in that case. Because no matter what, I feel like eventually you're gonna want more, you know? Even if you feel like you're okay with a piece of the man for a moment, you're not gonna like that because what if you want you are an independent woman kind of thing, or you're doing your thing, and all right, this person you're sharing, but what happens when you got to go to like the holiday party at your job and you want to bring your man but you can't bring him because like he with the other lady at the time, you know? So it's gonna be like things like that. You're gonna want the guy to show up for you and you're gonna realize like I need more than this. But I also feel like I wonder if the whole is more, well, you did put the world, but I don't know. I feel like I heard something where it's like it may be more women to men in America, but you know, if women would kind of branch out their options, they'll be able to like have like men, you know what I mean? So yeah. But I'm not quite sure of the statistics for sure, so don't quote me on that. Jeanette, yes, that's right. Sugar Mama is December 19th and Knox is December 19th. What in the world? That is whew, allegedly good vibes, yeah. Allegedly. What are the odds of that? That is interesting. Mm-mm-mm. Lakeisha said, love makes things happen. You never know where it's coming from. You never know who you're gonna love. Mm, I I slightly agree. I do feel like you have a choice. Um, I kind of do. Usually when they say you fall in love kind of thing, is you usually like in your feelings or your emotions kind of, or you're chasing after a fantasy. But if all that stuff came down, you would see things for what it is. So I feel like um not not going with your feelings, but using your head and your heart. You know, maybe use them just as equally. But when people say they feel like I don't know if I totally agree with that kind of thing. You know, uh, yeah, but I don't know. April, yes, girl. All right, it's so fun. Ain't he though? He is. But you know, I did not know he was attractive until after, like on the show when I first started watching it, till after he broke up with Rachel. Because I didn't realize he was cute. He had a girlfriend. See? My eyes. They don't see men in relationship as attractive. Like I don't know what it is. I really don't. You know, I just don't. And then once he broke up with her and I started seeing him by himself more, I remember telling my friends like, oh, do you know Ryan from Black Ink Crew is cute? And it's like, girl, I've been knew that, I've been seeing that. I'm like, oh well, I'm sorry. I didn't look at him like that because he had a girl. Mm. That's why I get. Remember when we were growing up, like with B2K and all that, and Bow Wow and all them. We later found out that they did actually have girlfriends, but they made, I guess, their management told them to not make it seem like they had girlfriends to the public, and that's true because we kind of feel like we like these people because they're single. Kind of like I feel like that's what got Derek Jackson caught up. When people thought he was single, he was like way more attractive. You know, versus like, oh, you're married, kind of like you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, it just changes things. And I could compare that to Tony Gaskins. Tony Gaskins would be saying that stuff. I never really followed Derek Jackson like that to begin with, so I wasn't kind of shocked. But I do notice a difference compared to like people like him and Tony Gaskins that do actually talk about his wife. But I like Tony and I like his wife, because he be giving that wisdom. See, I don't look at Tony like that because he got a wife. I didn't even know Tony was attractive until somebody said something. Because I guess I just don't look at him like that. I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah. Okay, so Linda said, Jeanette, thank you for reminding me of the allegedly. Yeah, because it's getting like very crazy out here in these YouTube streets. Y'all seen what was going on with that other YouTuber Nosy Ho and Nicki Minaj? Um, that lady said like too much, and what she was saying was wrong, and she should be held accountable to that for what she was saying. But I also feel like okay, I'm just gonna say it, and then y'all can help me like clean it up or whatever, or like dissect it. But I feel like if I'm Nicki Minaj, I feel like, and I have like millions of fans and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm gonna waste my time coming at like a YouTuber with 11,000 subscribers kind of thing. I don't know, but maybe she should. I don't know, because in a way, now you as Nicki Minaj and this lady that's a YouTuber are now in the same sentence, and I feel like you're. I don't know. I wouldn't want to give nobody no clout off of me if I'm like up. I kind of felt that way about Cardi B too. Cardi B and Tasha K. Like Cardi, you just kind of brought her up to your level in a way, because now her name is going to be mentioned along with yours. So I don't know, but not saying that they shouldn't be held accountable or whatever for what they said, but I don't know. Like I said, I gotta think about it more, but because I feel like even people like Beyonce and Jay-Z and people talk about their kids crazy all the time, but they never speak out or say anything back. But like I said, I could be wrong. Who am I to say you can't like say what you need to say if somebody is defaming you or whatever? But I just feel like, if I'm them, I'll address my counterparts, but not my fans, because in a way that's really what they are. I really feel like that girl is really a fan of Nicki, like for real. And Tasha K probably a real fan of Cardi B too. Because I wouldn't be doing all this stuff. I would not be trying to dig up their business and all that other. Now it's too much. Look, I can like their music, but I don't really care about them that much to be in their business. I got my own life. So I do feel like they be going a little too far. Like relax, like, when I'm talking about like these YouTubers, is not as serious. But don't you got like, you don't got nothing else to do. So Nelanine says they said Coleslaw had herself induced to assure the date. Wow. Instead of making sure, oh my goodness. Rod Daniel said Coleslaw probably requested to be induced on this day. She's crazy. Look, y'all said it right after each other. This is some weird stuff. It's borderline psychopathic. It's borderline single white female kind of stuff. Why would you even go that far? This is why I can't help to think that a little bit of Coleslaw is like clout chasing this situation as well. Do y'all think she'll be doing all this stuff if this show was not on TV? Because think about it like that. Wasn't him and her messing for years before they even got on the show? But as soon as he get on the show or whatever, she's pregnant and stuff. Like I don't. It seems very clout chasey, and it seems very. I don't like it because, like I said, and not to say I'm the standard to go by, but I feel like if I was truly remorseful and really felt like this guy was telling me a lie or a dream, I would be crying every day and I would not be on social media. I would just probably go on a retreat. I probably would have went to, like, you remember how Dave Chappelle had to go to Africa and stuff just to get away? I would have done something like that. It came out better and then make sure I got a better man than Martel. And this time that man would marry me. Like, I would use that anger for fuel to get better. But that's just me. But it's like Coleslaw like likes this. I think she likes it when her name it gets brought up and things like that, even though it's the wrong attention. That is so. That's very. Again, I find this very intriguing. Oh, Lakeisha, the world needs love. The world needs love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Who sings that song? What the world needs now. Is that Patty LaBelle? Oh, don't be upset with me. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Who sings that? Hmm. This says Jackie DeShannon. Oh, Dionne Warwick. I think that's how we know it. Okay. All right. My crush is Key Sweat and Gerald Levert. Really, Linda? Okay, Linda, do you like anybody like anybody of this newer generation, like that you got a crush on? Um, I feel like I can't look at Key Sweat and Gerald Levert like that. Have y'all seen those recent pictures of the recent videos of Genuine online? I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe like, cause we just so used to seeing Genuine like his young self, and he just looked so different. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I look at Keith Sweat and like Gerald Levert as I would look at my father or something, you know, like or an uncle. I kind of look at Martel and them like that, like Martel, Maurice and them, like, oh, they're like my uncles, but I don't like look at them like that, like that. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, do you like? How do y'all feel about Michael B. Jordan? Do y'all think he's fine? I feel like everybody like him. So ADR said men slash word cheat. I started to believe that men are confused by the word cheat, especially if just a boyfriend. Married, some miss the call of the wild and out on the prowl seems. I'm glad you brought that up. They did say that. They said kind of if you're looking for a man to marry, make sure he kind of got that out of his system. That wild, sowing his wild oats kind of thing. Make sure he has gotten that out of his system, because if he didn't, then and you try to marry him before then, it may be problems. That's just according to the article I read. I'm with you, girl. We're on the same page. Hey, April. Because she's miserable, she did not hesitate when she said something about Garcelle's son. Interesting. You talking about Nicki Minaj or Nosy? I'm gonna go back and I didn't know that Nicki Minaj said something, or either one. If we're talking about Nicki Minaj or Nosy Hill, said something about Garcelle's son. Yeah, but I feel like Nosy Hill was going a little bit too hard. Like, why do you care who Nicki Minaj is marrying? Anybody care that much, or you shouldn't. Why? It's almost the way that Nosy Hill was talking was almost as though like maybe she knew that Jennifer lady that said what she said about Nicki Minaj's husband. It was like, maybe do you know her or something? I don't know, or is that your relative? Because it was coming off too personal for me, just as an outsider looking in. I have no dog in this fight, so feel like I can be objective. So Richard said someone said CS had an induced labor to have not gone. That is really stalkerish and creepy. I wouldn't even know that. You know what I mean? If I'm a side chick, I really feel like I would not know that information. That is weird. You know what? She probably did it on purpose. So Martel will be torn on who he gonna spend like the birthday with. You know what? That's not right. That is not right. New celebs must have too much time on their hands. Nextly, celebs may go after comedians who talk and joke about everybody. Right. I kind of felt like Nikki. But like I said, it's her right. But I feel like once you talk about a hater or like that's kind of like not your peer, you kind of made them more, you kind of gave them your spotlight. And I feel like she didn't, because I had to go and see. I'm like, this girl only got like 11K. Well, let me not say only. It was hard, y'all. Me trying to get to my 1K. So it takes a lot or whatever. But I just like, I thought she was like on a Tasha K level with millions of subscribers, but she's not. So I kind of feel like, Nikki, don't even waste your time. Let your barbs handle her, kind of thing. Cardi B and Nicki, they are both broke. So they're trying to take the YouTubers' money. Oh my gosh. Tasha K is in Africa, honey. Okay, so that's true. I remember I was seeing that online, but I just didn't get a chance to watch the videos on there. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that was true. She really moved. Oh my goodness. Martel and Coleslaw did a lot of pillow talk. And that now that is the disrespectful part. It's one thing to kind of like do the physical with the enemy, which is bad, but to tell secrets, marital secrets between you and I, where I thought you was a safe space, it's like an even deeper violation. And I don't like that. I really don't. I really don't. Especially when I feel like maybe you see how we on here. We're on here for we on here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. We are talkers. So when you confide in somebody that you trust and then they violate it by talking to the ops, it's so disrespectful. Like, y'all can't talk about anything else, you know? Y'all can't talk about what y'all got going on instead of talking about my business. Disrespectful. So Anisha said, I don't believe that. It's easy to believe the negative things about Arian, and she did or didn't. Knox and Sugar Mama would have close birthdays because he's doing, he had both of them kind of near each other. I see what you're saying. So it could be a rumor that that they were induced, but it is interesting. Coleslaw is now saying she is working on twins. With who? Not with Martel. I hope not. She didn't learn her lesson yet. See, and this is why I know it's because Martel's on TV in the show. Didn't y'all tell me allegedly her first kid's child is with a married man too or something? Why is she not knocking down his door? Why is she not going on live talking about him? Because it's not going to get her that same kind of attention. I feel like that's not right. Like, look, we're trying to be neutral, girl. You know what I mean? We're trying to say, like, okay, she probably made a mistake. She didn't know no better. But every time we do that, she wind up proving us wrong. Like, jeez. So Jeanette said, when I was a young woman, Jeanette, you still look young, girl. What you talking about? People used to use the term infatuation as the emotionally driven intoxication in relationship. Now is love bombing. Yes. See how these terms keep changing? Even the word narcissist, I feel like I forgot what it used to be called or what people would say that type of person was back in the day, but it's basically what we know as a narcissist now. Audacity. Sloppy draws. No, you didn't call her sloppy draws. Thinks affairs and cheating started with her. Affairs are a dime a dozen. She is lost in her sloppy sauce. Or she do be acting like it's a flex, y'all. I don't understand it. I'm old school music lover. I was born in the 1970s. Aww. Yeah. My mom too. Okay, so let me think. What music y'all be? What did she used to like that she said? I remember she liked that song by High Five. And then I watched their Unsung. Oh my gosh, it was very like it was a lot. What other songs did my mom like from back in the day that I remember? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think, it was really big back then. Those guys are pervert uncles. Oh no. Onika, she's a bully. Alleged pervert uncles. Random dark. Random thought. Marty's feet must stanky dank in those shoes. I can see that. His tight pants. Tasha K interview with sloppy jaws. Have you seen those sloppy and Tasha K interviews the taped phone call and then the actual interview on her show, Sloppy So Deranged. I didn't see the first one. I didn't see the call one, but I did see the sit down one. And AD already got to go back. I did a video on it. Yep. Cause I think that interview upsetted me. I was taking notes like, really, 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 because I really do be trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really was under the impression like, oh, Martel, this sophisticated older man, seduced this younger woman. Like I was like, that's possible. That possibly could have been the case, but that was not the case. Absolutely not. That was not the case. Oh, y'all gotta watch this YouTuber I like. I'm not YouTuber, TikToker. I'm DeAndre Brown. He be like, absolutely not. When like his employer be like, can you stay longer? Absolutely not. So y'all gotta find him. He's hilarious. I wish I could show like maybe I'll start off with that come next time. Nosy has the ability to attract a lot of followers on her site. Oh, okay. She tracks the other YouTubers and lost her whole bag. The other YouTuber lost Nosy her old channel, but the other disappeared totally. Interesting. And did you hear like how in the lawsuit or whatever, if Nicki Minaj win, she gonna take like her name, her YouTube name, so she won't even be able to use it anymore. And that matters. What was I watching? I think I was watching the Fox Soul channel with Funky Dineva and Claudia and Al, and they were saying that like that whole Tina Turner, he could take everything except my name. That name, your brand, your name means is very important. I'm sure Earth, Wind, and Fire. Actually, no, my mom did not listen to them. No. I think, because I don't even know no songs by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I only remember my mom listening to like kind of 90s stuff. So Kelly Price, Mary J. Blige, but I can't think of anybody from the 70s. Like I remember she told me she had a JJ doll from Good Times. That's all I remember from the culture with her sharing with me like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Linda. Yes, I remember. Yes, I met High Five in Waco, Texas, back in the 1990. Yep. The Gap Band, Bloodstone, and list goes on. Right. So it's like I don't know Bloodstone, but I remember the Gap Band because they got Charlie Wilson in it, right? And I'm standing. Makes me wanna shout. And then I feel like I know Charlie Wilson because remember that song he came out with? Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie Leslie Wilson. I was wondering if I could take you out. That was a song we was young and it used to play on like BET and stuff. But that song, it just was like so fly, like so I don't know, like cause he talked. I don't know. I just liked that was a song. So I feel like I knew him from that point on, and then later on learning that he was in the Gap Band and stuff. So see, I know a little bit of songs. But especially if I'm watching something like an unsung, that's when I really be learning songs from back in the day. That's how come I'm such a big David Ruffin fan. I loved his unsung. Let me tell you, if I could get a DVD with like that unsung and maybe Escapes unsung, I'll be very happy because those were like the best unsung episodes I've seen to me. But Coastal's first guy was dating another woman and married her after the baby. Got it. Okay. But she tries to make Martel jealous of the other guy when she talked to her first baby dad. Oh my gosh. I don't know why she act like that. It's so weird. Martel was seduced by the heifer because she was doing things that Mel wasn't. That's what he liked. Nastiness, ill. See, yes, your perversion could. Mm, 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 mm. But he in his took her to the Kitty's Pizza for her 32nd birthday. Exactly. See, this how you know you care about her. Oh, how about Tony, Tony, Tony? Yes. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. And you know what other song I like? Well, remember the group Lucy Pearl with him, Raphael Sadiq, right? And Raphael Sadiq had a song that I like with D'Angelo. It was like, "You should be here." That was my song. You should be here with me. And remember Kindred, the Family Soul? Far away from here, far away from here, far away from. Yeah, I don't know, that neo soul music kind of like give you the feels inside in a way. It almost give me the feels of like some of that 70s music, like if loving you was wrong, I don't want to be right. You know how like some of those songs make you feel like the feels inside? I can't, you know, like it kind of like make you feel like you feel something. I hope I'm making sense, but some of them songs, like even it's a song from the Dead President's soundtrack. That movie is a very heavy movie. I remember like only seeing clips as like growing up, but then I wanted to watch it in its entirety as an adult. And that movie is very heavy. That's not a movie I can like watch a lot or again. Like I feel like once I watch it that one time as an adult, I'm kind of good. But some of the music that they use in that soundtrack gives me the feels too, like that. I don't know. Pulls on your. I don't know. Yeah. Did she know the Braxtons? No, I don't remember my mom really talking about the Braxtons growing up either. I didn't even know they was a group until I was watching their movie on Lifetime, the Netflix, not their Lifetime, the Braxtons movie. Did I finish it? I think I fell asleep on it, but it was good. It was good. Y'all are making me have flashbacks. Okay, when Yo MTV Raps would come and Deion Simpson would come on. Is that the guy? Yes. Okay, and that's okay. All I remember when I remember, but watching like documentaries about this situation with MTV, Yo MTV Raps was the whole D Barn situation and Dr. Dre. And guess what? Synquette went and watched that interview to see what made Dr. Dre upset. And it wasn't even bad. That interview with Ice Cube, I didn't get why he was mad at her for that. You're not gonna get mad at Cube though for saying what he said, but you're gonna get mad at the interview I mean, I just, what did he hear that I didn't hear? Because I really didn't hear D Barn say anything for that to warrant that type of reaction out of him. Like, what's wrong with him? And then remember when Tupac was snapping on the Hughes brothers on MTV Raps? Mm-hmm. I really like watching stuff. You know, for the culture. Old school hotties, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson were my older sister's hotties. oh, oh, Al Green. I feel like I like him because our birthdays are both in April. And don't he sing that song that made me feel good inside too? It no. Living for the Love of You is Isley Brothers. But what's the song that Al Green sings that's in the Love and Basketball soundtrack? Hold on. Because that song made me feel good inside. Al Green, Love and Love and Happiness. Oh, that song just make you feel good inside, don't it? Don't it not? Oh my gosh. Love and Happiness. Oh, and then my other song is a song by the Isley Brothers that be coming on in the beginning of Friday. How it go? In my mind, on my money, in my mind, I want to see what tomorrow brings. I'm like, oh, this song is trying to find another day. I'm like, hey, y'all know I'm an old soul on the low, but that's like I like the Isley Brothers, and remember I like their new stuff that they came out with too for like our kind of generation. Cause remember, busted, go upstairs, cause you busted, busted color cap, cause you busted, you're playing around, no, no, busted, busted by the Isley Brothers. Me and some girlfriends, we went dancing. Me, Shaniqua, Shaquan, and Robin. That was a jam. Sorry. Let me see. Um, oh, and Marvin Gaye sing my song was What's Going On. Oh, that song is so good. It really, it's very deep. So let's just say Alakeisha, I have met Tony Tone in person. They were here for our Juneteenth celebration. Oh wow, was that recently? Probably this year. Hello, Donnie Simpson on the shows Video Soul. Was that BET? Was Video Soul BET? Yes, Linda girl. Okay. Coleslaw needs to learn the song Deliver Me. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Leandra didn't have to sing that song that good like that. Like, you know how some people can like sing that can sing? They kind of like arrest you in the spirit, kind of like you be feeling like, ooh, like you just can't even move. Like, wow. I feel that way. I don't know if y'all remember that song by Shekinah Glory. It was called Yes. Like, yes. Yeah. Oh, like she was singing that song. Like some people be singing them songs where you be feeling it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Whoa, I'm about to go pray now. Like it really be commanding, like, you know. I'm kind of good when it comes to girl groups, the DLW and the Cheetah Girls for real. Okay, so I need to bring my sisters, my little sisters up here. Cause I knew 3LW and I knew their little dance from Baby I'ma Do Right. Remember when they was like in the little subway thing they was dancing, boy, in the 8th grade, and you ain't Biggie baby boy. So no, it ain't one more chance. And when my friends are brand, you don't want to hold my hand. Like, there was a stuff. And Adrian, and they were so young and little and cute. Oh, but the only song I know by Cheetah Girls like I don't like Cinderella, but I stopped watching Disney Channel by that time. I was on my grown woman stuff by then. No, I was really like still a teenager, but I graduated to MTV, so I would be watching the Real World and the Real World road rule challenges and stuff. Synquette was getting up there in the world watching MTV. And all them shows. Remember Room Raiders? I don't know if you remember Room Raiders from MTV. That was my show. Next, remember that show where they was like on a bus and like one person, they would come out one by one. The person like next, and they just would next them if they didn't find them attractive, like stuff like that. Remember those shows? Yeah, that's my era. SWE, Escape, and Climax. Why don't I know who Climax is? Hold on one moment. Climax. I don't know them. Who's that group that what's his face came out with In My House? Ooh. Oh, the Mary Jane Girls. The one that was it Rick James came out with. They sing the song all night long. Almost thought that was them when I was looking at this group, but it's not. It's the Mary Jane. The Mary Jane Girls is another group. But when I seen this just off top, I was like, oh. But yeah, no, it's a different group. I like the Mary Jane Girls. Oh, what's Sky? I don't know Sky. Okay, hold on. Sky Music Group. Am I spelling it right? Oh no, it needs 2 Y's. Sorry. Let me see here. Oh, I don't know them. Interesting. Y'all always be putting me on music. My friend had put me on to the girl that sang I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. I think her name was like Sherelle or Chantel or something like that. But I know that song from Mariah Carey's Glitter album. I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. I didn't know it was a remake. You know that? Okay, let me see. I didn't mean to turn you on. Oh, sure. Okay, yo. So my friend had sent me this video or whatever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this song. But like I said, I knew it because I heard the Mariah Carey version first. Mm-hmm. Linda girl, climax meeting in the. Oh, there's a meeting in the lady. Am I saying no? How meeting in the lady? Okay. I feel like if I hear it, I'ma know it. Meeting in the lady room sounds so familiar to me. Okay, add ADR in chat. Oh, can someone please send Arian the parable of the woman at the well and more recent side piece, Sharina Hudson, Wendy's wife-in-law. She's really not that bitch. Well, yeah, right. We should. But ooh, I feel like Arian not at a place to be receptive. You know she's gonna cuss us out. You know she like nobody can tell her nothing. You know? Um I don't understand her. But you know what? Remember Iana said something about like how sometimes we are stuck at the age where like the trauma happened. So maybe that's the vibe that I'm picking up from Arian. Cause she do give me like teenage girl vibes. Like I had no idea like we're the same age, like basically the same age. Um and like y'all see how chill I am. It's like not trying to compare anything, but I'm just like so surprised. Like I figured she was younger, but I feel like she should not be acting like how she's acting. I just don't know. Did everyone forget Aretha Franklin? No, we didn't. I feel like I don't really have a favorite song by Aretha, or I really don't. Oh, okay. Here go my song by Aretha Franklin. And I even downloaded it. A rose is still a rose, baby girl. You're still a flower. Don't I sound just like her? No, I'm playing. And can't leave you and then shake you, make you and then break you. That's oh my god. That I was about to say I don't really like that many songs by Aretha Franklin. Um, Yeah, this is a cute picture. Oh my gosh. Oh, just making me feel all good inside. Look at Whitney. She looks so cute. But y'all, right? Okay, what's y'all favorite Aretha Franklin's? I know she's a queen of soul, but I don't know. I guess I never really listened to her music like that. Mary Jane Girls, Isley Brothers, yes. Tony Braxton. I don't feel like I don't really like any. I'm not gonna say I don't really like, but I like more Tony Braxton's newer. Um, he wasn't man enough for me. Like I like that. Tony Braxton. Sam. Oh, and also unbreak my heart. I remember growing up with that song. It was just so popular. Oh my gosh. But I was too young to understand. I ain't tell y'all how I got in trouble for singing Rock the Boat by Aaliyah, right? Um, I was just a kid. I didn't know what I was saying. I was like, don't be singing that. I got in trouble for singing that. I got in trouble for singing R. Kelly's Half on a Baby. I didn't know what I was saying, y'all. It just sounded catchy. Half on a baby. I was like, don't be singing that. It's like, oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Blame TV for putting these songs up there, you know? The OJs, TK Soul, Mel Waiter, and Sir Charles. Oh, that man that just passed away, that everybody's talking about. I think he was like an R&B person too. I don't know no songs by him. You know, and I swore that I was like a 90s person to know songs, but I didn't know no song. It was his name like Jesse Powell. Am I saying Jesse? Is it Jesse Powell? Yeah. I didn't know no songs by him, y'all. Okay. Is there a way of knowing his most popular song? I Will Be. I don't think I knew any songs by him. Oh, he was born in Gary, Indiana. That's where the Jackson was from. Oh my! Look at that, y'all? He literally, wow. September 12th. He passed away September 13th. That's interesting. But I feel like I know some stuff about OJ. I don't know who TK Soul is. Hold on. TK Soul. Came right up. Oh, look, and your Sir Charles. Okay. Sir Charles. April 1973. Same year my mom was born. Okay. Um, male, oops, male waiters. I don't know him either. Passed away already. Y'all be putting me on some songs. This summer, yes, is on BT. Okay. Anita Baker. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just really I like Anita Baker's voice and Gladys Knight voice. Like I don't know what kind of like alto soprano, like I don't know what kind of like, of that voices that they have, but I like their tone of voice. Like I don't know, I just really like it. And my song by Anita Baker is and you know who else voice I like, even though I didn't know none of her songs until I watched her unsung. Pretty lady, Phyllis Hyman. I like her voice too. I don't know, I like those kind of voices in women. I like them. So my song, Anita Baker is and the Wayans Brothers. Oh, this my jam, y'all. Ain't no need to worry what the night's gonna bring. She was snapping on that song. I like her little ab libs and everything. This is my song. Yes. She was singing that song. Also, Linda knows at April, we just had Sir Charles Jones and Tux here in Texas for a New Year. Y'all always be having everything in Texas. Everything be happening in Texas. My friend wanted, I was supposed to go with my friend to Houston last month. But okay, Linda, I should have asked you. Don't it get like very, very hot in Texas? Well, I don't know if Houston is near where you live, but they said it's not a good time to visit. I don't like to be hot like that. Shirley Murdoch. My mom didn't undo as we lay. We forget about. And I know Shirley Murdoch. Yes, old school music is great. Hidden Beach Productions, Kendrick, yeah, Zane, Floetry Group, Arrested Development, too many in its genre era too. Oh, we be exactly. It'll be all fun. Arrested Development, are they the ones that have that song that what's the concept? Take me to another place. Arrested Development. Yeah. Take me to another. Um, Tennessee. Yeah. I think they are the ones that I like. Oh, ain't she the one that sing? They say I'm hopeless, like a penny when I'm holding it. From the movie from the movie Love Jones. Is this her? Hopeless. Okay, yup. All right, yeah, I know. They say, oh, yeah, Love Jones. Oh, the sweetest thing I know. That's my song. Lauryn Hill was that girl. That's another person that is beautiful, gorgeous. That like now as an adult I can look back and see, but I feel like growing up, I don't remember. Well, I like I said, I was growing up, so maybe they did give her kudos for her beauty. But I feel like her, Foxy Brown, when I look back at them, gorgeous, beautiful. And that's when I realized like, oh, colorism is a real thing because like why wasn't they up there in the spotlight like that? The Lauryn Hill is very pretty. So don't get me started. What about Dismissed? I never heard of that group. Okay. Dismissed music group. Synquette doesn't know this group. You gotta tell me what song they known for, Lakeisha. The Men All Pause. Okay, let's see here. The men all pause. Oh, song. Okay, this is a song by Climax. Y'all is giving me so. Okay, they're gonna meet in the ladies' room. Okay, Betty Wright, Peggy Scott, Adams Denise Lissay, Shirley Brown. I don't know anybody except for Cheryl Brown. Except for Betty Wright. Did y'all forget about my girl? She sing Candy Young Hearts, Candy Stanton. That is my song. I can't remember how I came across it, but I'm like, this song is bomb. Young Hearts, run free, don't ever be. And then she also sing in the song from like that Tyler Perry movie. It be like, when will I ever learn? All my worry is a waste of time. Oh, that's my jam. When will I ever learn? Mm-hmm. Oh, it didn't come up. When will I? Mm-hmm. I like this song by her. Mm-hmm. I really do. Okay. Alexander O'Neal, Freddie Jackson. Why do I feel like Alexander? If you were here tonight, I probably gotta hear it to know it. But I'm like, I feel like I know. I feel like I know this song. I know that name. And I feel like I know Freddie Jackson too. Mm-hmm. Barry White, Christopher Wills. There we go, Linda. I know Christopher Williams and Guy from the movie New Jack City. New Jack City. And I know the song I Like by Guy from Love and Basketball. See, that's how I sometimes know songs. Like if I hear them in another way. Like I remember I started liking this song by India.Arie when I was in TJ Maxx one time. And remember that app Shazam, where if you didn't know the song, you could like press it on your phone and it'll tell you what the song was. So I will learn songs through that. And Christopher was Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming. Okay. But Barry White. Oh, okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Can't get enough of your love, baby. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember him. When the girl, they did a concert here at Talladega College. It was nice. Oh, Shirley Brown, Tigger. Let me see who this Shirley Brown is. Shirley Brown. Oh, okay. She's pretty. Hmm. Oh my gosh, it said Bassy. Okay, Shirley Brown. Oh, here we go. I'm on the wrong thing. Oh, how come y'all didn't bring up my girl that sing on that song Prince Diamonds and Pearls? That lady can sing. That is my I feel like I don't really know too many Prince songs, but I know that one and I know I like that one. Oh, and I think was it my mom or somebody was like that's the only song where Prince was like he sung in a tenor, like or he sung like in his deep voice kind of thing. Because I guess most songs he don't really sing that low. But in that song he did, and that's my jam, because that lady was singing D to the I to the A to the M. I just kind of sometimes, sorry, but I be skipping to get to her part. Anthony, D to the pearls of love. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is snapping. But I can't remember her name. Okay, Shirley Brown. It ain't no woman to woman. Okay. I feel like I heard people talk about like this song, Woman to Woman. Okay. Oh, I want to see who this Tigger B. Nelly. Hmm. Tigger B. Nelly. I don't think you're talking about these people. I'll be sure. Then there's LG Bar. Yes. Okay. I know I'll be sure because he sing my song. I can't tell you how I feel about you night and day. Ooh, that's my song. And Elder Barge. Do I like any songs by them? Um, I feel like I like this song. Oh, I like it. Oh, yep. Okay, I know that. I know them now. Oh, a rhythm of the night. But their brother sing the song I like. Right? It'd be like uh, I call your name. Oh, let me see. Hmm. Yes, switch. Ain't one of the brothers in it, or like a couple of them. I don't know, but I do like this song. Yeah, Luther Vandross. It made me think. You got me going in circles. Remember, like back on TV, where like they would sell like those CDs with all these like different throwback songs. That is like I remember that being on that the little CD soundtrack thing. You got me going in circles. Din, 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 din. Oh, round and round I go. Okay, wait. Zoom, pink Cadillac. Cadillac. Oh, is this? Oh, is was this by? Is this a song by? Because when I was about to type it in, I seen Aretha Franklin. Is this a song by her? Respect. What it means. That is a classic. You know what song I like? I'm every woman. It's all in me. I like that song. I think Shaka Khan sung it first, right? And then Whitney Houston remade it. Cold Soul allegedly gives me incessant vibes. Gives me incessant vibes. Hmm. Hold on. Incessant. Sorry. Continuing without pause or interruption. See, good point. And like her obsession, right? Like she gonna make Martel like her. Jesse Powell, baby, it's you. I'm gonna go back and listen to that. Yes, the wedding song. You okay? I'm gonna go and then they'll probably operate. Oh, I have heard of that song before. He came out the same time High Five did. I feel like I don't really know him. I know what's his name, Tevin Campbell, a little bit more than I know Jesse Powell. Great lie today. Says, I enjoy myself. I must go to bed now. I can be ready. Oh, thank you, Fam Capital. You have a good night too. Yes, I'm about to. I could see the numbers is going down. I know we all got to go to bed. Well, we just having such a good time talking about these songs. We should do one of these. We have our own playlist day. Oh, good night, Patricia. Thanks for stopping by. uh, Oh, hit the like button, please. Yes, guys. Before you guys go to bed. Phyllis Hyman, yes. Brian McKnight. Love should have brought you home last night. You guys are the bomb. Okay, I was wearing 74. Okay, y'all, I was wearing 73. Brian McKnight. You know my song by him. You're more than wonderful. I want that played at my wedding. And Robin Thicke. You're the kind of girl you wanna marry. That's my song. Oh my gosh, you guys are bomb. We should make our own playlist. In Vogue. Hold on. Oh, wait, they do sing Hold On to Your Love. But they also sing that song I like. I think it's also called Hold On. They be like, don't go. Don't go. And I also like, what's it gonna be? Cause I can pretend. Wasn't that on the Soul Food soundtrack? I feel like maybe that's how come I know it. But In Vogue, I like them as a group too. Sheila E. I really don't know no songs by her. Vanity Six, Morris Day and the Time, The Bar Switch. Yes, you guys be knowing. Shaka Khan and Gladys Knight, Teddy Pendergrass. Turn off the lights. Do, do, do. Let's get cozy. Okay, April. Don't forget Love TK. Oh, guess it's another TKO. Yes. Love. Uh, mm, TKO. Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, there's a yeah. I like. I know when the way he say it is good. Guess it's TKO. Yes, I feel like I like that song. Coastal act like a victim of family child sexual abuse against her. As you know what, I would not be surprised. I hope not. But I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, y'all. What we gonna do? You know, we gotta be the bigger person, and you know, pray for her healing and everybody's healing involved. You know, because I just really want everybody to be happy at the end of the day. Yeah. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan is very pretty to me too. I will love you anyway, even if you cannot stay. I don't want for me. Why? And you know what? You guys are not my friends because ain't nobody talk about Patti LaBelle. That is so mean. No, I'm playing. Oh my gosh. Deborah Cox and Tamia. Why do they? Why in my mind they're like very similar? You know, like I don't know. I like sometimes it's hard for me to like separate them. How did you get here? Now that I'm an adult, I understand that song too. At first, I did not understand that song. And to me, the one that sang "There's a stranger in my house," I need to go back and listen to that song too as an adult. I may be able to understand it because I remember listening to it as a kid. I didn't really get it like that. Oh, good night, April. And God bless you. Until yes, guys. God bless you too, sis. Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't really like Jennifer Hudson like that. I don't know why. I really don't like her singing like that either. I don't know why. I just don't. I like Fantasia though. It's allegedly that she has moved back to Ohio. I think she should. She should move back to like where her family is, her roots. You know, maybe take some time off of social media and come back better than before. You know, I feel like we all can have second chances. You know, Patti LaBelle, yes, Linda. Stephanie Mills, oh yes, and Compromise. Patti. Okay, how come I feel like I don't know no songs by Stephanie Mills either? But like I know like she's a big name, like you know what I'm trying. Like I know people respect her name and things like that, but I really don't know no songs by her. I remember she was on the Breakfast Club too, so I'm like, oh yeah. So I know that she's like, you know, I'm sure she got hits, but I guess I just don't know none of them like that. Foxy Brown is ain't she gorgeous? I'm like, look at this lady. Look, oh my gosh, Foxy Brown. I mean, like her back in the day. I'm like, she like a Barbie doll. Like, look at this. Like, gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh. And then that's when I realized, like, man, people be hating. Just straight up beautiful. Oh yep, and Deborah Cox. It's just she don't want to sing "Stranger in My House," right? No. She sing "How Did You Get Here?" Ooh, didn't mean to get them mixed up, y'all. All right, this was a wonderful live. Y'all stuck with me for 3 hours and 12 minutes. See, I had to give y'all extra time for my technical difficulties. But anyway, I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Y'all done talk me into Friday because y'all know I'm on the East Coast. So it's literally 12:01 Friday morning. But you know the grind don't stop. I'll still be up tomorrow for work. No days off. Like I'll be good or whatever, or a few hours of sleep. So yes. Oh, let me finish reading these little ones. Jennifer Hudson appeared to give an air of fake. Is that what it is? Is that why I just don't like? I'm not vibing with her. You know, I want to, but I'm just not like getting it. She was in the Wiz? Oh, and sung the song Home. Hold on, let me see that real Stephanie Mills. Wait, because I know that movie. Wiz. Oh. But I just need to probably see the scene to remember. Is this like the Wiz on Broadway or something? Okay, yep. Okay, pre-Broadway tour. Okay, gotcha. Home in the Wizard of Oz. Okay. Color Me Back. I wanna thank you up. You know, I know them from like I said, New Jack City, because that was a song. Yo Yo, Salt and Pepper. I feel like I only like Yo-Yo when I only like Yo-Yo, but I know Yo-Yo from Patra. A romantic call. Talking to my baby, don't wait on. And you know I like Salt and Pepper. What I mean, what I mean, what I mean, what a mighty good man. All right, Linda. Good night, sis. And good night to you guys as well. Again, thanks for rocking with me and coming with me through the technical difficulties. Until next time, I'll probably do another poll to kind of see what else you guys want to talk about because we didn't even get to our other topics, you know. But nevertheless, I feel like we hit on a lot of different things. Um, until next time, be looking forward to my next video I'll come out with, and also we'll talk about the show, you know, the one that comes on this week, and see what else is going on. I think this time Tisha going to be on there or whatever, so we'll get to see her. That scene with like her, Marcel, and Funky Dineva. I feel like that should be coming up soon, right? I think, yeah. But other than that, ADR, you done said Tina Marie. Y'all know I like Square Biz. Y'all know that's my song. I'm talking Square Biz to you, baby. Square. You know my little brother had a nerve. Like I was playing him a song. He was like, "Who's that Madonna?" Wait now, look now. Don't get disrespectful. Okay? You gotta know these. You gotta know the right people. Okay? Don't get them confused ever again. Oh, the black version of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Oh, my dear, thank you. Good night. Good night to you all. Okay, I'm really going to end it this time. Other than that, I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.